Hey, welcome in. I'm Whip. Hello, hello, hello. And
Hola.
thank you again to Miss Dee Dee for making that little
Dee Dee's
intro.
awesome.
She is awesome.
And
So,
people should not say that Dee Dee is short. She's not short. I've seen her. Both of her legs touch the ground. So she's Dee Dee. Dee Dee is not short. Dee Dee is fun size. So you gotta, Dee Dee is fun size. So that's
that
But
she
do they
is.
touch the ground when she's sitting?
Yeah. Well,
she's
there
fun
is that.
size. We love her.
She sat next to me while we were eating
Hey,
chicken
Mel.
wings, but I didn't look under the table.
She's
I'm gonna do
hysterical too.
I'm gonna do hellos real quick, just to get it out of the way. We got Linda Worth was the first one in the house. Sybil Steve,
Hola.
Cecil Mayberry, Maladia Rorschach, Uncle Smiley, one more fish,
One more fish.
Dirty Jeff, Cheryl Smith. I have some of her electric blue Akara. That's what I hope to tub.
Oh, that's a nice fish.
Yep, I like it. Um, got Oinky,
Hello, sweet
Crystal.
baby.
Monster Fish Gale. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Got a lot of people saying hi's.
You got nice
If you
crab
have
tonight. Yep.
questions, oh, there's Mel from Sleeper Barbecue. Hey, Sleep, what's going on? There's Miss Dee Dee right there. Rack, Stephen P. There we go. There we go. There's still a bunch there. There's me saying, hold on. Filling glasses, emptying bladders. It looks like that's going to be about everybody. Oh, there's Foxy.
The
Foxy,
bride
Foxy,
to
and
be.
Jenny. Hello, hello. And Zenny. Hi, Zenny. Alishon.
Big Tom Galooly,
Big Tom Galooly.
master of
Big
fish.
Tom.
He's Little Tom to me.
Was Fish Rumors here tonight?
I didn't see him yet. I'm still
Is,
scrolling. Boy, there's a lot of chatter going on here. That's way more chatter than normal. It
is
must be
Fish Rumors in your Fish Club,
Dr.
Dr.
Ted's
Ted?
Well, I'm
influence.
I'm like a surprise guest tonight. So
Yeah, right.
you'll be like losing members by in about 30 minutes. You'll be down to three
I
people.
highly
Trust me.
doubt that.
You'll be down to three
Dave's
people.
Aquarium Thoughts. Dr.
It's Coletti,
Anthony.
Italian.
Hey, Dr. Anthony, how we doing?
Ant, the Ant Man
Uh,
himself, the legend,
yeah.
the
Danny
living legend.
V. Man, there's a lot of people in here today.
Holy
Look
cow.
what you did to me.
Now
I haven't had to do this in a long
now
time.
now Whip, should I do the same jokes I did in like Ed's live feed, or should I do different ones and tell people to watch Ed's live feed on the replay? We can do it like two ways.
It's an
I think you ought to try
open
our
mic.
new
You can do
ones, 'cause
whatever you
maybe they'll
want.
be funnier.
Yeah, because I
Wow,
think
wow.
you know Ed. I
Hey,
think Ed. I think you have to curb your enthusiasm. Okay.
That was a great show.
Yeah, you should definitely watch the
Oinky, Denny.
replay to watch how we embarrass
Scotty the
ourselves.
fish feet. And Brenton Lightcap is here. Kreger. Hey, Kreger from
Good day,
Australia.
Greg. Good day.
Aquarium Fantasies. Sunny G.
Holy cow!
I know,
You-
there's so many people.
You
I'm,
got
I'm
like
not
a
even to
fish
the
club here
bottom yet.
tonight. They're all here to see you, Whip.
I don't think so because I don't
Well,
get to Jenna.
no, I'm telling
Hi,
you.
Jenna.
Ever since
Oh.
you started adding the Whips World signature thong to your merch site, the people have been coming to this show, hopefully to get one.
I know.
I'm
And it's
I'm wearing one now. I've never been so comfortable. I mean,
it's
that's
supposed to
why
make you
I'm
more
only
fertile.
It's you
why-
and Nancy B. Nancy B. and you. You are the only
that's
two
why
that
I'm only
currently have
shown from like the waist up, but it's extremely comfortable.
I had a dream about
Whip?
Stephen P.
Well, okay,
Again?
hold it
Night
right
ago.
now. This is actually a family show. Okay, but go ahead. You had a
Even-
dream
Okay,
about
I
Stephen
used to hate going to summer Christian camp or whatever it's called. You know, when you
Vacation
get in a
Bible
bus
school.
and they force. Now, they put you on a bus and you live with just a bunch of other kids. But
Yeah,
I did learn how to
Wendy?
swallow because of it. They
you
wouldn't
learned
let
how to
you
what?
swallow.
Wait a minute here. Hold it. Whip, cancel. You're going to be demonetized any minute now. What the heck's
No,
going
no.
on?
This is
You
good.
saying that you're going to summer camp and you learned how to swallow. What was the camp counselor's name? Captain Ed? What the hell is wrong with you? It's
You couldn't-
YouTube. Oh my God, Ed.
You couldn't get seconds unless you ate all your stupid peas. So I would
Okay.
just swallow all the peas.
Oh yes, I did that when I was a kid. I did this. I hated peas, so I couldn't leave the dinner table, so I had to swallow them. Yes, I did the same thing.
And I could never swallow
Ben.
pills until church camp. And
You
then I
see
was
that?
like, yeah, Mom, I'll pop those. Oop, no problem.
I actually so why did you have a dream about Stephen P though?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
well,
wanted me to swallow.
I was getting
Was-
on the
And
bus.
why did you
and I
say
was
the
always
word
miserable.
swallow? Okay, I'm sorry, but I need to have something stronger. Let me just get that. Okay. Go ahead.
was-
Tell us this dream
was-
about you and Stephen P swallowing. Go ahead.
I was getting onto the school bus, and
Oh,
as I
boy.
was getting on the school bus, he was leaving the school bus
What?
because he had just endured a week of the camp.
You're
I was
still
like, how bad
traumatized
was
by
it?
this.
Oh, and I was like getting on, and he was walking this one. I said, how bad was it? And he went, it was bad.
You're now being a former shrink, I can see you're still traumatized by this.
Yeah.
You have some
I broke-
PTSD about this camp, man. Are you
I
sure
broke my
that
knee cartilage. I
Are
broke
you-
my cartilage at camp.
are you sure swallowing the peas is not just a defense mechanism for something else that happened?
I
mean,
just want to know, was it actually summer camp or band camp?
well,
Yeah.
the band
No,
ba-
It was
band
it was
camp
church,
is what
it
Stephen
was the
P
church
did.
thing.
Because
Oh,
you see,
church.
I have dreams about Stephen P too, but usually he's a donut and I'm a hot dog. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that dream
Sounds
means,
delicious.
but I usually have that dream. But
I wish I had dreams of donuts and hot dogs.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm no longer a shrink. So you're dreaming about swallowing peas at summer camp. I'm dreaming about hot dogs and donuts, and here we are. That's why we're in this hobby.
It sounds like you watched that adult cartoon maybe called Sausage Party.
Oh, that was shocking. Oh my God, that movie. I'm watching that film like, what the heck?
They made a second one.
And yeah, in the second one, they just went, oh, I'm like, that's enough. So, my God.
Steven says, I'm too sober for this.
Hey guys, what is our word of the evening? So we can
It's
all take
it's
it.
hashtag swallow now.
Yep. Rack has set the bar.
What is
I
the?
think I'm gonna swallow some tea.
Okay, so the word is swallow. There we go. Okay,
Now is a bird swallow the same thing?
you just said it. Whip, are you still drinking coffee and vodka tonight, or did you switch to something stronger? Because I think you'll need it.
This is vodka with some coffee in it.
All right, folks. The goal tonight. This is Whip's second hour drinking this. We need to get them as liquored up as possible. We want to see what happens at the end of the show. So we have
I don't
to try
think you
to.
understand how much I can ingest, though.
Yeah,
I've seen you at the Clash. I know how much you can ingest. Trust me.
Or swallow, as the case may be.
There we go. There's the word.
So Mel says you have to check out my new, whatever word that is, gold Medaka rice.
Yes, the
Yokozuna.
those are really nice. Did Fishcapades? Did you get those from Aquahuna? Where did you get those from? Let's see if she posts in the chat. Aquahuna is where I get my rice fish from often. It's only $12 shipping. They guarantee live
Hey, Bucci.
delivery.
Wow, that's a great price on shipping.
It's
No
great.
kidding.
Yeah, they guarantee live
It
delivery.
cost me $35 for a wood cat.
What?
I can't remember the actual scientific name, but it was basically a jaguar catfish.
Ali
Cost me
Sean,
$35
scientific
for
name for wood
and it
cat,
cost
please.
me, yeah, hit me, smart fella. But it cost me $120 to get it here.
What? Oh my God.
I'm like, come on.
Whip, that is a hard amount to swallow.
So she got the Yokozuna gold rice fish from.
They're really nice. That is
Medaka Lair.
That is
He's a breeder in California. Has amazing quality.
Yeah, that might be Aquahuna. I'm wondering. But those are, rice fish are bulletproof fish. Those are great tub fish. You can keep them out.
Oh.
I've had some survive under the ice. I mean, they're just amazing.
I've heard that too. Where there's several rice fish that can species that can survive the winter.
Yeah.
Right?
Not your daisy rice fish. Daisy rice fish aren't from Japan. They're tropical.
No, you have to go with the Medakas. I like the platinums. My friend J.C. Cowell, who's a great aquarist in New Jersey, he's developing a green platinum. And when you don't appreciate the platinum rice fish until you're outside. Because when the platinum rice fish are outside and the sun hits them, it's like your tub is filled with pieces of silver swimming all over the place. It is an amazing look. That would be a fish I'd recommend. If you can get any platinum rice fish
she said
outside.
I smelled it like 12 times.
Wow.
I love the pure platinums. I could just swallow those all night long. That probably didn't sound very good. But
no.
You shouldn't swallow your rice fish. You should eat them.
Well, I actually got to go. It's 11 o'clock.
Oh.
And I got to get up.
Thank you, Skip, for being awesome.
Skip, thanks for being here.
I appreciate you coming in. Did you say hi to Sherry? Carrie, before you leave?
Yeah, I did. Way better.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, Carrie.
Well, hi, Carrie.
Hi to Carrie.
But y'all have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, Dr. Ted. It was entertaining at the least.
God bless you, Skip.
All right, I'll see you guys. Everybody have a good night.
Later, buddy. Thanks for.
Hey, maybe we can hang out this week. Let me know if you're free. He's gone.
Nancy B sent us. This is from Foxy.
Nancy B.
She sent Foxy some blue platinum rice fish eggs and Ulysses. Ulysses.
Oh yes, that is the new one out.
Type.
That's a rice fish that's kind of hot right now. That's a hybrid type. Pretty cool, actually.
Here's one for you. Oinky has a question for you.
Crystal, what's up, Crystal?
She says, "Thank you. That's great to know. I've always wanted to purchase. I guess it's not a question. From Aquahuna, some of the shipping for fish from some companies is simply too high to purchase from. Yeah, I get a lot of my fish from Predatory Fins, and
I've never heard of them.
You never heard of Rod and Kevin?
Predator? No, I haven't.
Oh, they're
Tell
up
me
your
about
way-ish. They deal with mostly monster fish.
Oh, okay, that's why I've never heard of them. Sorry,
but they do carry like angels and some of the smaller fish. But Kevin is
Florida.
Kevin used to be, I guess he technically still is. He was on his own in California doing
Mhm.
stingrays, and Rod
Oh
was in
wow.
Florida doing monster fish, and they both moved to New York and opened up a store together.
What's their store?
It's called Predatory Fins. They kept Rod's name, and
Oh,
then
okay.
yeah, so but it's not open to the public yet. But they do online stuff. You can buy
Oh,
online, and you just
okay.
can't go into a brick and mortar. They
Oh,
have a brick
neat.
and mortar, but they're still working on it, trying to do the permits and all that stuff.
Yeah, neat.
So yeah, and they've got really good quality stuff as far as I've had to deal with. I can't speak for everybody, but they've never done me wrong. They've got good shipping and everything. It's
Yeah,
just
because
expensive.
Whip, I'm willing to pay extra if I can get quality fish that don't get sick. It's you kind of get what you pay for in this hobby.
Right. Yeah.
So
I just hate the idea of spending like literally triple for shipping.
yeah, no, yeah, I
But
mean, I used to
yeah,
buy and sell back in the day when I was, because I'm an ex a live bearer guy. I used to use Aquabid a lot, and some of that shipping is pretty good, right? It's mostly smaller fish, but Aquabid's been around since 2000, and you can get some good
Forever.
deals there. And most of the people who sell on Aquabid are like independent fish room people.
is Aquabid
Dan's
still around? Which is the one that
still
just
around. It's Aquabid. It's aquabid.com. The website looks like something right out of the 20th century, which it is. Um, you can get
has
some nice fish on there.
which is the one that just folded?
One folded.
Oh,
Yeah,
Get Gills
Foxy
shut
was.
down.
Oh, Get Gills.
Get
That's what it
Gills.
was.
I know
It
Tangled
didn't
Up in
really fold.
Cichlids closed down too.
Yeah.
You
Tangled Up in
know,
Cichlids closed down, which was in my town, and they were actually shipping for a while. But
I didn't. Oh, Tangled Up in Cichlids is gone too.
yeah, he just shut down last month. He bought the business from Jeff Rapps. You know, you probably remember. The cichlid hobby was the organized hobby up until around 2010. And anything with the name cichlid now is had a little tough. So he was having I don't know what happened. Maybe he had more competition, but he shut down the business a couple months ago.
The one in I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but there was one down in either Texas or I think it was Texas that folded too. He
Cichlid
had
Shack.
some. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
I I
I
know
think I was in
Charles
Arizona.
Clapsaddle is still there. So oh yeah, there's Select Aquatics. My old pal Greg Sage at the American Library Association runs that. That's just his fish room out of his home. He has very high quality stuff because he's a master fish room guy for many decades.
Do you
Select
guys do any?
Aquatics.
34 gallons? You're probably not, but have you tried the goldfish slash koi route at all?
I keep goldfish in the summer in a shady tub because, as you know, shady tubs are cooler water, more oxygen. Goldfish are high-bodied fish, and I keep them in there. But I'm not a goldfish guy. Believe it or not, doing fancy goldfish is harder than people think. You're
Yeah,
trying to
Oh my
set,
gosh,
set if you're trying to
you're
set a
so dirty.
strain. Yeah, but you
See,
know something,
that
Ed,
is yes,
my
100%.
friend puts all his goldfish out in tubs. He doesn't have to fertilize even his water lilies. He grows his water lilies in gravel in his goldfish tubs, and they bloom for him because they make so much waste that the plants
Yeah,
just it's like free fertilizer. So it's a nice combo outside.
Well, that was what I originally did when I was a kid. Is I would get
Yeah,
the fancy goldfish for a quarter. I'd sell
yeah,
these magazines books to people for
yeah.
my soccer league, and then I would say, if you aren't going to use your goldfish coupon in there, can I have it? And everybody would rip it out and hand it to me after I sold them the book. And then I would go and get all these goldfish. Maybe they were 15 cents. I don't know. They were cheap. And I would grow them out in my little tub pond thing. And they would get the softball size in 1 year. And I'd take them back to the fish store and they'd give me like $20 a piece. And that's huge for a kid.
For a kid, that's like cha-ching. Yeah.
you're right.
And they would just be beautiful.
Wow. No, that's
So that's what I did as a kid.
No, I mean, keeping fish outside, that's an old fish show trick too. A lot of the old guys, they would put their mollies outside in kiddie pools back in the old days. And in the fall, when all the fish shows, because clubs used to all have fish shows. Now it's only the Keystone Clash in the East Coast that has a fish show, but every club had a fish show. And they would put them outside, they'd bring them in, they'd be monstrous size with the best color, and they'd win at the show. So it's a great way to grow the fish fast and colorful. Tom says that they're in Long Island. Who's in Long Island, Ted?
Predatory fins. I'm sure that's what we were
Oh,
talking about.
okay, they're okay. If
And then
anyone
Monster
knows,
Fish Scale says that their shipping is awesome, great customer service, beautiful
oh,
fish.
good to know.
Yes, sir.
Good
Oh,
to
and then
know.
Carrie from Science Scale, she said she visited there when they went to New York. It was an amazing place. So they must have been allowing tours, even if they weren't allowing people to go in and sell
Oh, okay,
or buy. Not sell.
sweet.
Now, you live in between like Manhattan or New York City and Philadelphia.
Right. So
So
New
here's
York's
the
about
big
an hour
question.
east. So New York's an hour east of me, and Philly's 2 hours west of me.
Which one of them has the better food?
Where I live, basically. I mean, my
In the
part of
middle.
northern New Jersey has been cited as some people have said it's the best place for food in the whole world because we have such a
Oh, wow.
diversity. Like I could leave my house. I have about 100 places I could eat within a 10-minute drive. Everything from
That's
any
awesome.
ethnicity food, and they're all good. Plus, we have diners, right? The Jersey Diner
Oh, I
is
love
classic.
diners.
Greek families, they're open 24 hours. You can get breakfast or any food. So, um, trouble with New York, it's so gentrified now. You can get good food, but downtown Manhattan, I think Philly has a lot of interesting food there. But I like where I live here in terms of food. I mean, I can get Indian buffet that'll knock your socks off. I have 7 pizza shops in my
Probably knock a lot
town.
off of me.
Oh God. I mean, I've
I
got any kind of food here. I'm very
That's
spoiled.
awesome.
I'm very spoiled. But I still
It,
like a Whopper Junior every now and then. I still get a craving. And White Castle. We have a White Castle. I know it's an acquired taste, but I get a craving now and then. I have to drive up the road and get a White Castle.
we have a Crystals here, and it's not the same as White Castle. I
Tell me
haven't
about
actually had White
crystals.
Castle for
Yeah, I've never heard of
Crystals
Crystal.
is they're the same outfit. They're owned by the same people. It's just Crystals is White Castle in the South because they also fry chicken. They
Okay,
do like fried shrimp poor boys. They do
ooh, that
a
sounds good.
a mini dog. They call them mini pup, or they call them puppies because they're a hot dog on a little hot dog bun that's like this big, and then they put chili and cheese on them. Because with the sliders, you got a little burger, so they have little hot
Mm.
dogs. They have wonderful tater tots.
Oh God.
They
Isn't
The
that
best thing they have is
yeah.
fried gravy.
What? What is fried
Oh,
gravy?
it is unbelievable. I
What
think
is it though?
they freeze a gravy bowl. They dip
Right?
it in batter and they
What
drop
is
it
it?
in there. It's like a hush puppy, but when you bite into it, then there's gravy on
Hey,
the
Kev.
inside.
No one does
Oh,
fried food better than the South and the Iowa State Fair, I think. But
oh
isn't
my
that the
God.
great thing about living in the USA? Every region has its own unique cuisine. There's always something good to eat wherever you go, and it's different.
Yep.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
I but I miss Italian food. We don't have
Yeah.
Italians here.
Well,
And
see, that's the thing, like I would not, and I don't mean to be off color, but I would not go to a Chinese restaurant if a Chinese family wasn't cooking there, right? So we have a guy who opened up a pizza shop in town. He's not Italian. All right, he can make pizza, but I order Italian food from him. I'm like, this is awful. So
yeah,
I think you're right. You kind of want that family tradition in those restaurants, and that's really where you get the best deal.
yeah. St.
Well,
Louis has a big Italian area,
yeah,
and I
it does.
just so wonderful. Oh, so wonderful. The hill.
Well, I'm getting like hungry now, so I'm just gonna grab some flake food and just eat some. Hold on a second. I got these color bits here, and I'm so hungry. I'm just gonna have a few. Hold
I
on.
got this
Mm.
micros.
delicious. You
I'm
know,
not doing
this
that.
is well. I mixed in a little crystal meth with this, so it's actually
Okay, well,
more
then hand
palatable
it
now.
over. You got to
That's
share.
delicious.
Got some
Share with the
sticks.
group.
He's gonna have some too, so we got there. There we go.
Yeah,
That-
I was
you
thinking
know-
those banana worms or the micro worms, they would be the size of bananas to him. They'd be like a perfect dinner.
Well, yeah, because you know the Aqua GI Joe for the Nerdy Fish guys comes with his own spawning mop, and you know all the other stuff in the microworm culture, you know, but you know, hey,
Zenny, you haven't lived until you had deep fried bacon.
deep fried butter. Now, is that served with the side of Lipitor? Because that would be a delicious combo. That would be a delicious combo right there.
Right? Fried butter. They fry everything. I've had fried ice cream. I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
Yes, I've had that at Mexican restaurants. It's quite good. I'm dying to go. One of my bucket lists is go to the Iowa State Fair, right? Because that's like the fair, and there's so many deep fried options there. So you only live once.
Yep.
All my family is from Iowa, so I've actually been to
Heather
that.
Green.
You've
Boy,
wow.
I haven't seen you in forever. Hey, Heather, how you doing?
I want to go to the Texas fair and try that. All those foods there, the Texas one. But apparently they have like a couple of Texas fairs.
Garcia
Great
Aquatics, yeah.
Oh, Foxy's here too.
Yeah.
Foxy, you're not getting cold feet, I hope, right? I just want to make sure. We just have to check in with her.
Her feet
When
might
I
be
went-
cold, but her heart is very warm.
The
It
fried
is.
food was all corn based.
Well,
Everything
of
was
course it
because
is.
it was in the 80s. So
Yes,
it was
corn-
like everything was a corn something
Yes.
back when I went years ago.
Or
or-
right there.
They have a
If-
lot of ham in Iowa.
Steven says if I go to the Iowa State Fair, I might die there.
We ought to have a fish meetup at the Iowa State Fair. Wouldn't that be fun?
12 people went in, only 6 came out. That's
Right. The rest were deep fried.
And trust me, there's a lot of deep fried food to swallow there. Ed, there's a lot of deep fried food to swallow there. Here we go. I hope everyone on the chat has taken a sip of their selected beverage tonight.
I was actually kind of thirsty.
Your
as
adult
well.
beverage of choice.
Remember, the
Swallow
goal tonight
is
the goal
your-
tonight is get whip liquored up. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the goal. Hashtag get whip liquored. Okay, so
or licked. Either one.
I've been painting these.
what are those, Ed?
These are Zen Ginger's henchmen's shields. They're gonna like march around the Zen Ginger when she goes to a fish swap, and they're gonna
Yeah.
have shields just to push everybody back so she can go to every fish table on her own, so she can pick all of them without other people around her.
Hey,
You
Jose,
are
They're all
very
gonna hold, and that's her symbol, the Z
that
with
is
the
very
line through it.
thoughtful of you.
Zendikit. The
Someone
Zendikit.
is looking out for you.
It's a hard pill to swallow, but she's tough.
Diet Snapple.
But
Oh, you big
hope
shooter,
she-
you.
I hope she gets a tattoo of that in real
Zenny,
life because it'd be really cool. A
I know
Z
you're.
with a line through
I
it.
know your man. I know your man can do it. You should totally take a
Yep.
picture of that. I want to see it when we get there. at
Did
the Clash
anyone in
this year.
Fish Fam ever get tattoos of other Fish Fam people? I went to a fish convention once, and I think it was I forget who it was. He had a tattoo of the late great Dr. Wayne Leibel on his leg. That's how much. So I just curious.
Wow.
Has anyone in the Fish Fam ever got a tattoo of another Fish Fam person?
Just
No.
Cthulhu.
Okay.
Cthulhu, and I have more Cthulhu.
Okay.
I'm a sea monster guy. I love things from the water.
I have nothing.
The way it should be.
I have nothing and nothing.
I have a tattoo that
I
says,
am an ink free.
well, I have a tattoo on my side that says Satan, my Lord and Master, but I can't really show that.
Don't be
Because-
showing that.
Oh,
one.
because
Man.
Ed said there's no religion or politics
Yeah,
on the
right.
show. So,
The kids
sorry
that
about
would
that.
get that tattoo and go to church camp, they would get
Yeah.
double P's.
Oh
Does
my
anybody
God.
want to go in on a Rico tramp stamp?
No.
A Rico tramp stamp. Wow. Wait a minute here. Is Scotty on the line here? Is Scotty
He
in the chat?
was.
So
He might be
Scotty,
driving.
so Scotty, can we set up a special booth to get Rico tramp stamps? Like people just walk in and we just
Want me
burn
to
them on right there and
send him a link and see if he'll come up?
yeah,
You can ask him.
he can maybe check the replay. I'm just brainstorming things for the Clash, this year. We already have a Clash shirt coming soon. That will be I don't know if you know that Scotty will be celebrating his 5th year as leading the Keystone Clash and that amazing crew of volunteers that are amateurs that put on a professional show. Amazes me to no end. That'll be his 5th year anniversary. So we're going to have a special 5-year commemorative Scotty shirt, which will be unofficial and unauthorized, but will be available sometime this summer. That's
If you
all I
shave
can
your
say
head,
about it.
If you shave your head, do you get like 5% off?
We'll give you 7. How's that?
Wow.
Nope. I already have a
There he is.
tramp stamp. Now I'm sad I can't join in. That's from the Zen Ginger. You have a tramp stamp? I need pictures, or it didn't happen.
You can do a whole live feed
That's
about
kind
that.
of, you don't ask a girl for pictures of her tramp scamp.
Oh, I just
Scamp.
did. So hey, before
Wow.
we get too distracted here, I want to acknowledge.
Too
I don't know if he's still in
distracted.
the. Yeah, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but old Rack, or
Mhm.
not old Rack, but Rack sent me. Let me make sure I got the right stuff.
Whoops.
He sent me some
send that.
barbecue, which is upstairs next to the
Good.
rest of the barbecue.
Yummy.
He also sent me some artwork. And some stickers.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Freebies.
so it's a bunch of budget
Bonsai.
and this guy.
Branding. Wow. Branding everywhere.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
I'm an old advertising guy, so I'm digging this.
Here's some
Okay.
more artwork.
Wow.
He's
You
sent
know,
me
I
all
had
kinds
some
of
of
stuff.
the,
So it's very. I should at
I
least.
used his hot sauce and it was delicious.
That's awesome. And then I also spent a couple bucks and got Series 1.
Oh, the cards that the famous, the famous fish cards.
Yep.
Stephen
One.
had an opening of some on one of his live feeds a couple of weeks ago.
The only one
Very
I'm
creative.
missing, I bought, but he might have sold out, is 3. Series 4.
Yes.
I
Series
need to get the new
5.
ones.
I've got the Creators series.
Wow.
I've got
Does,
2 of these, the mystery packs.
does he keep track of what series you bought? Or
I
is that up to
don't know.
me?
Probably up to you. And then I got 2 of these
Ah.
guys. The trading.
Wow. Oh,
Fish
I've
room
got that
punks,
one.
yes. Right.
I've got Father Fish.
So I just wanted to say thank you.
My favorite
Mike.
fish punk card is Meth Head Madaka. That's my favorite card. If he can make more of Meth Head Madaka, then
Meth Head, yeah. Meth Head Madaka. I haven't opened these yet, so I cannot show any of them off because I wanted to make sure I get Creator Series is Series 3. Oh, well, all right.
well, Whip, people should bring them to the Clash so they can trade and swap them.
Hey,
Because
there
the whole
you
thing
go.
with
wondering
trading
if you would
cards
want
is
it.
that you trade them. That's
I was
So-
wondering if you'd want to send a K-Star table to sell for him or something.
The
Even though we're
creator,
selling so much stuff, I don't know if
series,
we're gonna
trade
have
them,
room.
swap them. So Ed, you're doing a booth at the Clash this year?
Did you
We
notice
are.
I had one last year?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna do it
somebody
again.
somebody was very kind, and the way it worked out. Do you care if I talk about this, Ed?
Sure.
So we lost Shady Grady. Are you familiar with Shady?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Clash, because he had donated the year before to Ed,
Yeah.
because he had a leg issue that wasn't clearing up, and he had already bought a table, so he had donated that table to Ed.
Oh, okay.
And this year he had bought again, and then he had passed unexpectedly.
Mm,
So
mhm.
the committee that Scotty's kind of in charge of, or at least part of, decided to donate that to Ed again
Oh, that's nice.
based on last year. So
Yeah,
Ed, and then
that's
and then
great.
somebody else bought 2 more tables for Ed,
Yeah,
as I understand it.
yeah, somebody bought my
Um,
other 2 tables for me. They kept asking me to pay for it, and I kept saying, "Well, can you wait till I get monetized?" Because, I'm on a limited budget. And so I was and like 2 weeks before I was monetized, somebody paid for the 2 tables. So that
Well,
was
how
really
nice is
nice.
that? That's very,
yeah.
very nice.
So
Yeah.
the way Scotty explained it to me was you have 3 tables, two anonymous donors and shadies, and then you have a 4th table that's just for putting stuff on, I guess.
Yeah, well, I last year Annette came around and she said, "Would you like to buy extra things like after we set it up?" And I'm hoping she does that again.
I
And
don't
then
think you'll need it.
yeah, we'll buy extra tables just with cash and put them
You've
in.
got 4. How many more do you think you'll need?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking actually 5. Well,
Oh,
I don't
Wow.
because we're going to do a horseshoe this year.
well, that depends on where you end up, right?
Oh yeah, I mean if we're on the end, then maybe we do 4, make a triangle. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
We'll figure it out. But it doesn't matter. I mean, the tables are only $10 extra.
Yeah, no,
So
yes. Yeah,
so
it's a very, very good deal. That is a real wonderful vendor space in that hotel with the real high ceiling. It's like a trade show space.
well, it's wonderful that Rico's wife and daughter, you know, they are willing to work the booth the whole time because I said, I really told them I don't want to do it because I don't get much time with Crystal.
Right.
And I want to
Right.
spend as much time as I
And
can with
Susie's got
Crystal.
the other one,
Which
right?
which Ed,
And Susie's gonna
which
work
Ed,
it too.
Ed, by the way, she's quite grateful about. But anyway, I know that you don't get a lot of time, but so
So we're
But
gonna have Ed in the middle, and this might change as we go.
right.
Ed will be in the middle.
Middle.
Rico's family will be on one side, and then
Right.
Susie Q, who you're probably familiar with,
Oh yeah, so of
she'll
course.
be on the other side.
So
And
you're
then we'll,
making a Chattanooga Ed sandwich.
yes.
well, and I'm gonna have one
Can
table
can we have some
just with
peas
the
in there
action
too?
figures on it.
Yeah.
I'm bringing all my GI Joes, but I'm going to put them in like a 50-gallon fish tank or something so kids can't touch them. Because I couldn't believe all my things on my table, kids would pick up and run. And I'd be like,
No, yeah.
"Yeah."
Oh yeah, no.
So
Exactly.
they would grab every GI
They're
Joe.
not free.
So
No.
we're
Terry
covering the
says
GI Joes.
Terry says she's making Jesse drive to the Clash. The tickets already bought. He can't say no.
Oh, that's
It-
awesome.
Yeah, right.
That's how you handle things like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you haven't gotten your hotel, the rooms are going fast, but Scotty says the True Hotel, which is about 15 minutes away, he has opened up a block of rooms. So there's a second hotel if you can't get a room at the Morgantown Holiday Inn. But I would try to book your room if you haven't.
I do it in January
Oh,
just so I make sure I get it.
Yeah, because you could always book your room and cancel your room, but if you register, you can't really cancel that. So booking the
No,
room
that's
early
no
was a
refund.
smart move. Yeah.
He's very clear on that. So, and Geek
Yes.
says next year Ed's going to need his own hall.
The Hall of Ed. We're gonna have
Well,
the Chattanooga wing, which will
we'll have
include like GI Joes, all types of
but
assorted frozen peas,
people
and
And
a
a
people only get
crap
to
frozen
look
load of
at my
pea,
guppies.
VHS. They don't get to
and
buy them. They just get to look at them.
a deep fried gravy vendor, a
Ooh, I'd make some
pea
money on that.
a pea eating contest. Um, there could be a whole host of things to celebrate Ed. It's going to be interesting. Hey,
I'm not
Dr.
sure
Ted,
what this is, but
have you ever used plants as a symbiotic circle in your tub? Well, tomato and vegetable plants are not aquatic, right? So they need drained soil, right? And instead of standing water. So you have to find plants. I do grow society garlic, which is a nice aquatic plant that you can eat the whole plant, and it even smells like garlic. I grow aquatic mint, which is Mentha aquatica, and they have a citrus variety that's real nice. You can get at a pond store. That's wonderful. You can smell that as you walk by. Cattails are edible too. There's several pond plants that you can walk by and actually eat. But vegetables and other stuff, you've got to see if they like well drained soil and they're sitting in standing
I
water. It's
tried to
probably
eat a
not going to work.
cattail when I was a kid. That did not go
The
well.
stick.
No, it
It's the
didn't
stick,
go well.
the inside of the stick. But it's so funny to tell somebody to bite a dried up cattail and
No,
say
that's
it's
kind of
hilarious.
not how it works. And there was probably alcohol involved there, Whip. I would
Right? Well, there
imagine.
might have
You know,
been.
um,
I grew those in
I
St.
hope
Louis.
that means you'll be attending our wedding. I'm pretty.
Yep. That's Carrie for Carrie. Sorry, I clicked off that too fast.
That's
Mike,
fine.
I'm pretty sure that's not addressed to us. They're having their own internal conversation.
See that,
Uh,
Whip? Everyone wants to trade cards. That'll be a new Clash tradition, trading cards. So I
well,
think we have to
oh,
get
Nathan.
fish.
Nathan is here.
Yeah,
We're
we have to
also
get
going to
fish
play
fram trading
Dungeons and
cards.
Dragons.
I wonder if he's going. I'll have to touch base with Kyle and see if he's going. Branton, do you know
Oh,
if he's
Lady
going?
LaRoche.
Are you still here, Branton?
Ed, can we
Lady
do a special like Aqua Nerd
Roche.
Dungeons and Dragons? Like you roll the dice and you can enter the fish room where something has died, or you can go to the pet shop and get a sick fish. There's like choices you make and stuff like that. That would be cool.
Killer Kitty, she asked everybody what their favorite fish was, and then she gave them a magical fish that of it.
Wow.
And I said a red guppy. Just I don't know why I picked red because I didn't have any red guppies in my fish room. And I can throw my red guppy at somebody that's dying, and it'll give them hit points. And then it'll fly back to my hand, and I put it back in my pocket.
Here's
Once
the
a day, I
important
can heal
question: Does
someone.
Wow.
Dr. Ted know what hit points are?
I was gonna say 1D hit points, but I was afraid he didn't know what that was.
That sounds like a Dungeon and Dragons reference, right?
1D10.
It definitely is. Yes.
As nerdy as I wasn't playing Dungeons and Dragons. I was too busy playing guitar. So that was my high school.
You were a bard. Oh, look at that. Now, Scotty
It's
is on
Scotty,
his
the
way
fish
home
ring.
from work.
There
He's
he
at home,
is.
maybe.
There he is. Our own personal.
Why am I so far down? What in the world? Hold on.
You're
You're
so far
always that far
down
down.
because Scotty, you're so far down because you're 4'11". I mean, come
5'2"
on,
and a half, damn it.
ladies
You're
and
not
gentlemen,
supposed to tell him
are
that.
ladies and gentlemen are Napoleon in chief, the master of the Clash, Scotty Schmidt, who does it all. I don't know how he does so much stuff. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, Ted, I must correct you on something, kind sir.
Please do.
I tried to get a block at the Crew Hotel. However,
Yeah.
Hey, Christine.
they were unresponsive.
What? Why? It's business.
Welcome home,
That's
Nancy.
what they didn't even have a sales department.
But they do have rooms available, probably, right?
Yeah, last I heard, and as of right now, the Holiday Inn does have a few as well.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you, Scotty. That's good to know because
That's
if
hard to swallow, Scotty.
it is, oh,
I don't have a
oh,
drink, so I just walked in the door.
and
So did
Scotty. Well,
Scotty
how was
doesn't
your day,
even have
Scotty?
popcorn.
I don't have popcorn either. I have cats.
Well, I I
if
know
you
the
start
class
talking
is
about
far away,
cats,
but-
I'm going to put you back in the green room.
You know,
Well,
Scotty,
actually,
I don't.
Scotty, but no, I will say, I know Scotty. Scotty is quite famous. There's some things you don't know about Scotty. For example, Scotty was part of a major sleep study that was published in the New England Journal. I don't know if
Really?
you know this. They did a study. They gave some people Ambien, which is the sleep med, and they found that people who took Ambien and listened to an episode of Scotty's Fireside Chat fell asleep 5 times faster than taking
Yes.
Ambien alone.
Yeah.
And I think what they used was episode 2, where he spoke for a half hour about buying shoes at Target. And you combine that with the Ambien,
Mm-hmm.
out in like 5, it was just great. So that is the new standard of care that most doctors
Is
recommend to people
For
now.
sure.
is Scotty's real life last name Schmidt?
Yes.
Yes, it's Scotty. It's
Are
Scotty
you
the Legend
related to
Schmidt.
John Schmidt that named Schmitty my linebacker in high school football?
Maybe, but I doubt it.
It's a very common name. I think he's named after the beer Schmitz, but that's just me.
He got
I
kicked
There-
off the football team for slashing the rival school bus
oh, no.
tires. All of them.
Wow.
He got into their here. He got into the. He was a senior, and he got into their bus barn and slashed every tire
Mm.
in
That's some
their school.
That's some heavy tribalism right there. My God.
Yeah. And then since he didn't get to graduate, they let him come back to school the following year, and we tried to get him on the football team for 5
Oh,
years
that's
straight.
terrible. They expelled him for that?
Yeah. That's a lot of money. I mean, that's
I don't know. Scotty and
That's
I
terrible.
didn't Scotty and I didn't get expelled, Scotty, when you and I buried that hooker about 15 years ago. They still
They
actually
did.
kept us in school.
Here we go with the dead hooker again.
They
I'm
actually kept
starting
us
to
in
feel
school. I
like
mean, Scotty
I'm
and
not
I
very
just got like a
special.
reprimand about that. And I mean,
If you buried a hooker with Dr. Ted, raise your hand or type me
Apparently.
right now, because it kind of feels like you're not a very special person anymore. Or I'm not a special person.
that's a lot to swallow. Let me tell you.
Oh man.
There's been a lot of swallowing going on.
Well, Ed
Oh
is
my
still
God.
having these PTSD Christian summer camp dreams.
Yes.
And now
Yeah,
Stephen
right.
P is in them
Yeah, with Stephen.
with Stevens in them, and it's just getting a little freaky deaky, Scotty. So we're glad that you're here to keep us grounded
Yeah, I'm here
in
for
the
it.
fish world community. Scotty, what is going on with the Clash? Is there anything new that we need to know? Anything exciting? Anything blockbuster?
Yeah, because you haven't streamed in for a while.
Yeah,
Blenders.
work has been keeping me busy a little bit. I need to get old like Ted and retire.
I'm not. I'm still working, pal.
Oh,
Still working.
Let's see. What was the last?
Well, thanks for not saying old like me.
There's
Damn it! Now I'm that stupid effing
Scotty.
song.
This
What
is
song
something
is
that I
that,
haven't told
Ginger?
Yeah, you're gonna have to give
Scotty.
us a hint.
Scotty. Do you know when I first moved to Chattanooga, I
Mhm.
applied at the Tennessee Aquarium and got a job as a security guard.
What?
Is the night
Holy
security
cow!
guard?
That's
But-
kismet.
I didn't get to actually do it because as I was going in for like my training and stuff,
Mhm.
you have to be able to lift 60-pound boxes of dead fish because they deliver them at night.
Oh.
And at my back, I'm not supposed to lift that much.
60 pounds of
Well, we
so
have Power Jackson
They-
forklift for that.
And I was still like, just because I'm medically not supposed to, I could probably still do it as long as I don't end up in a wheelchair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting observation there. And I'm going to go to Scotty. Scotty, a little behind the scenes question.
Mhm.
You work for a major aquarium. How many, with all these displays, how many dead fish are there per day? Are they collected, or do they
Not
just go into the system and the other fish eat them? Or
It's really not much. I'll say one thing about where I am is they have a lot of big fish. Now, coming
Yeah.
in the very near future, hint hint, is they're it looks like they're getting ready to add some smaller fish.
Okay.
That are in quarantine right now, and I'm very excited for that. I got to see them tonight. Actually, I was walking around with one of the biologists. I was working. There was 2 proms going on at the same time in the building, so there was a lot of damn kids.
Prom night at the aquarium.
It's a very common thing.
Okay.
We have a auditorium at our aquarium for that you can rent for that type of stuff, or weddings, or
I would
all
like
sorts of junk.
to go back to Rack's question, because he mentioned it the other night, and I didn't have my glasses on and I couldn't type. Yeah, it was late. It was I guess a week ago. So I think one of the confusions is we don't actually have an art show, and we have an arts and crafts class in our fish show. But we don't know
Yes.
jack crap about an art display. We don't know what we're doing. I'll be the first to admit it.
But you do
Not
have a
a different
class
name.
in the show. You have
Yes, we have the arts class in the
right,
show.
because one year I made a jigsaw puzzle of Scott McLaughlin and I entered it into the show. I said, yeah.
The king.
Now I don't know which year Rack entered stuff.
There you
Look at
go.
that. Nice. I don't know which year Rack entered
What's it?
stuff, but it very well could have been a year that I was in charge. I don't know, and I'm willing to take the blame for it, because
Well, damn you, Scotty.
yeah, we don't know what we're doing when it comes to an art show.
Scotty, you had one job, man. One job. Fix the art show. You
Just
failed.
one.
You
Just
failed.
one.
You're done.
But yeah, we are open to suggestions on how to make it better if there's participation. We're always working to improve the event.
Yes.
And Denny, Scott is, I don't know if you follow him on social media, but
He's done a lot.
he does a lot on social media. He is concentrating right now more on photography of nature. He's doing really big things with that part-time.
A lot of birds.
Does the Clash do a photo contest like the NEC does?
Not
Yeah.
the class.
I've won some.
Yeah.
I've won some of those.
So
Maybe
we
But
have
it's all in one. It's all combined, right? I mean, it's not like
Well,
just
yeah.
photography. It's
There's a
Right,
class
it's
of
a fish
photography,
show.
but I decided to stop doing that because I felt like I kind of cheated.
I don't think
Because I used to be a professional photographer.
so what?
Well,
You
that's
should
fine.
do it.
Do it. No, because
Yeah,
I think
I mean,
Good.
remember, but Ed, remember the whole part of the show is not to win; it's also to get people jazzed about stuff. And if you're a good photographer, I would like to see that. So
Yeah,
that would be my
absolutely.
encouragement for you.
Absolutely.
I would like to see that. For for example, last year I entered this photo of Scotty getting a wedgie. It won third place, and I thought it was great. It was different, so anything goes.
what made it funny was it was Dr. Ted giving him the wedgie while Scotty was burying a dead hooker. So
That's and how we got that photo, we don't want to say,
Nope.
but
Nope.
These are my
well-
photography ones from the year that I competed.
there you go.
See?
There
I
you
love
go.
I love it. But yeah,
And-
we have 52 different classes, and
Wow, that's unbelievable.
it art is one of them, or two.
And
one or
you,
two.
and
Three. Three of
folks, I just have to give like a plug here. The Clash is not like Aquashella. It's not a business. It's not run by people who do this for a living. These are amateurs who put on a professional level event. It's
We love
amazing. and they take time away from their families. They don't really get to enjoy the event. And the fish show fish shows used to be in every club. This is Scotty. I think this is the last fish show on the East Coast that I
I don't
know of.
know of any
I
others.
missed the big fish deal. I wish that was still around.
I've heard good
Yeah.
things about it.
Yeah,
I've never-
that stopped during COVID and did not come back.
Yeah.
That was
Maryland's
my
having a
last
lot of
show.
problems. Yeah.
And there's actually shows that are disappearing. Like every year,
Hey,
we
Captain.
So
lose one.
Look,
I mean, if you want to see the best fish that you can see, you got to go to a fish show. And the class fish show is like 300 entries. They build that rack system. And I know that you were helping them with that the other year. They build that from scratch with wood and air supply, and they manage it. It's a tremendous feat. And it's worth going. It started, and Scotty, correct me, the Clash started as a fish show and then expanded into all this other stuff, right?
I mean, Ted, you probably know better than me, but I believe it started. The CCY, I believe, started it in a clubhouse, and Alishon's the one that's going to know the answer to this.
Yeah.
But I
Wasn't-
believe
Wasn't
It's-
Scott McLaughlin the one that started this?
Yes.
yes,
Scott McLaughlin started it because he used to come to our shows at the North Jersey Aquarium Society. He said, "This is great. Let's do it here." And then when North Jersey got old and stopped doing shows, we gave them our rack
There we
system.
go.
But I mean, it's huge, the show, and it's a real feat
yeah.
of engineering to put that up, and it's wonderful. And just coming
Last
by,
And last weekend, Crypt Keeper Tim and I actually organized all the stuff in storage because our storage is on the same property as the hotel. It's around,
I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, it's around back. It's a wing of the mall because I guess that used to be an actual shopping mall. That
Yes,
whole-
it was.
right.
Yeah.
And the one back wing we actually rent for storage for the Clash.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We're organizing a whole bunch of the stuff this past Sunday, and
Wow. Yeah.
it's a growing event, and I mean, I really don't have any big announcements right now to give.
Well, Scotty, somebody has a question for you right here. Lady Rorschach, being a former shrink, a name after my own heart. So go ahead there.
Sent to the event to an exhibition without the artist present. I would love to go, but as long as you coordinate with someone to manage your entry for you,
And return it for you. Yeah.
yep, or put it in the auction is what.
That's right. Yeah.
I would reference. I don't like always answering questions because we have a team that manages each section. But so I would reference on the KeystoneClash.com website, the Fish Show tab. There's a list of rules. As long as it doesn't go against any of those rules, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't, I don't see the issue.
And if you need a point of contact, Ed or myself, or I'm sure
Right.
Rico or Susie, one of us can do it for you. I mean,
that's nice. That's nice.
She lives near Kenny Danikin, or Kenny Edwards, and maybe he could bring it for her if he wanted.
Yeah.
Or now he is going to be swamped. He has to take a tuxedo in a plane all the way there. So I don't know. He might be going crazy.
And shout out to Jesse here. Just one more fish.
One more
art
fish.
class and numerous other clips. Numerous. He
I think he deserves a drink, guys, for that. Let's
swallow him. Or wait,
Whoa.
no,
We're gonna swallow. We are
Dude,
gonna swallow
there's
for Jesse. There we go.
Oh.
Take that and put it in your imagination and don't think about
I had an
it.
ant in my teeth.
I believe Jesse's a platinum sponsor or silver.
Wow.
Very high
Last year,
level.
Hey,
I
Ross.
think
I
you can be a
messed up.
bronze. Now, I think you can be a double gold sponsor if you give Scotty back massages every 2 hours. So I just want to send that out
I'll make you a damn
as
platinum.
as an option. No oils are involved, so you don't have to
But
go.
yeah,
that far.
Tom said it started as a cichlid show in
There you go.
in the clubhouse, but quickly had to expand. And then I believe it was kind of like a CCY versus ACLC. ACLC being heavy into the killifish, and non-cichlids going against the cichlids,
Mhm.
and it took off from there, I believe.
And Scotty,
And thank
if
you.
I can give a
Jesse is a platinum sponsor.
Ali Shan is the master of fish, and he's a great guy. And Scotty, if I can just give a plug, an old fish show guy, everyone goes to a fish show and goes, I have a better fish than that. And you probably do. In your tank, you might have a fish that you think is ugly or bad, but it might actually be really good. Do not be inhibited to enter your fish in a show and see what it does. I judged one class a couple of years ago. I'm like, none of these fish I would have entered. They were all undersized. But everyone has some fish in their tank that they can enter and then bring home. Try it.
I entered a plant
every
this
year,
year.
and every single year I learned something about fish when I enter into the fish show. Every year, for sure.
I would never, personally, I get why people do it, but I would never risk the life of my fish to transport them, keep them somewhere where they're not used to, in a much smaller, because I do big fish mostly.
Yes.
You know, jaguars and Oscars and frontosa and whatnot. There's no way
The
I would
only
Well,
fish
I've entered
whip that
fish.
1,000 miles and all that.
but you know, Whip, I only fish I've seen people lose over the 30 years I've been going to fish shows is fancy guppies. Those really breeder IFGA level guppies that are so delicate. Those are the only fish. Every other fish does really just fine, right? They surprisingly do well. And they do. Scotty, do you guys offer big tanks for bigger fish, or do people have to bring their own large
I'll
tank?
tell you, because you know, Jesse here, just one more fish, has been hinting around bringing some fish, and I know what he keeps.
Right.
We've actually recently gotten some donations, and we are starting to get some bigger tanks for those. Actually, Jennifer Weaver, who passed away this past year, her family donated her fish room to us, and
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
yeah. Then they
I gave her my my fish photo, that one #1. I gave that to her
oh wow.
at that show.
So they actually got a U-Haul and brought us a U-Haul full of tanks and stuff like that. So we're working on what all we're going to be doing with all of that stuff. We have some.
You guys have to be commended because you guys are amateurs, and you put on a professional show. You have your own clubs to run. You have work and family, and you do this Herculean task. And you know,
Why are you scratching my wall, you idiot?
I'm sorry, Scotty. I just feel like scratching you. I mean, that's just the way I am.
Ginger Cass, he's at the wall, just scratching at the wall. Like, what the freak? Sorry.
Not to brag, but I'm a platinum.
There you go. Well, not to brag, but you are Mr. Humble Bragger. Thank you very much. But so Scotty, so how is the vendor room shaping up? Because it's really a tremendous vendor room.
It's slow and steady this year, which is a lot different than last year. But it's catching up. There's a couple key ones that we're waiting on, but we know they're coming.
Like me.
Sorry. I mean, you're set. Yours are all set.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You had a few people take care of you, which is good.
Yeah, I did. Very nice.
But we have a couple things that are in the works. The committee has been doing a lot lately. And I'm not ready to announce anything yet.
You have the deep fried gravy station, I heard, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be awesome.
Scotty, if you can pull that off, I will pay you $1,000.
And I think
there's a couple other highlights coming for the hospitality room that
and you have that. Exciting. You have that vendor called Bowl of Peas that you're putting right next to Ed's table, which is going to be great.
Swallow the peas.
Yeah, Swallow the Peas, which is an interesting food vendor. He's got an interesting brand.
My goldfish.
And he's going to be next Ed. So Scotty, I think the hospitality room, since I'm giving my tub talk at the class,
Mhm.
maybe you put in like a big 300-gallon Rubbermaid stock tank, like a hillbilly hot tub, right in the hospitality room is what I'm
Yeah.
There
thinking.
you go.
And we're gonna fill it with Jello and do
This-
midget Jello wrestling.
Oh,
This was
I
my
would,
this was my winning pitcher.
That's a nice tail.
Just the tail.
da, da,
It
da,
got
da,
first
da, da.
place.
You didn't even put the whole. You didn't even put the whole fish in there.
No,
Just
and
the tail.
actually, just the tail. I think it was like almost like that. I don't know if
I would say, yeah. And as a
and I
judge,
blew it up
that
real
tail
big.
looks perfect.
It was amazing. It was an 11 by 14, and I had it's just the colors really pop when you see it in person, and I darkened up all the background, so it really was pretty popping. I really like that photo.
Yeah, we're the hospitality team is working on some stuff that I think is going to be a big hit this year. We're going to be in the big room again this year. We're not in the hotel rooms, but we got the big room.
Oh, good.
A lot of changes in there. The unpopular one that we were forced to do is
Bartender?
VIP registrations get a free drinking voucher thing, or a couple, I guess.
Yeah. And Scotty, I was very glad to hear that you've gotten rid of the dwarf tossing and the coke snorting snorting station.
Because
Those
Scotty was
were
getting all
very
bruised up.
inappropriate. Yeah, those were very inappropriate. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you've decided to go against them.
It had nothing to do with morals. He just was tired of getting bruised.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bobbing for flake food, that was not a popular event either. I'm glad that is not there. Smell the bed, white room culture, not a popular event. So
Yeah, that
you
happened
guys
already.
have really improved
Yeah.
in making the hospitality suite better and better. So I give you my
That's right.
hats off there.
So one more says, I didn't lose a single thing last year. Yeah, but one more, you live literally.
You lost
on
your
top of
pride. Yeah.
yeah, maybe a little bit of the pride.
He's got
I'm in Chicago. I don't know how, I'm sure I could transfer it. I've taken fish all the way to
Are you
Nashville.
driving or flying, Whip?
I'm driving. I don't fly.
Oh, then just put them in a 5-gallon bucket with a battery operated aerator and a piece of polyfilter and a shot of Ultimate and have a nice day. They'll be fine.
I don't use a 5-gallon bucket, but I use a tote with a hole
Yeah,
drilled in the
tote.
lid.
Yeah. Put some polyfilter in there. They'll be good to go, man.
Boots and
I would
Rachel.
love to see your fish. I would love to see Whip's World fish on display.
Yes, Rachel, there is.
Yes,
I think
Rachel,
I got
there
kicked
is.
out of the wedding talk.
I did.
green
I
field
still
talk?
see it, but if she's talking, I don't see anything new in there.
Type something in it so I can say hi.
Okay, let me give
So
me
there's
that.
something fresh.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, it just popped. So, did you just do that? Oh, Kenny E just said something. He said, "That's a tricky question." Okay, so what am I supposed to be reading?
I don't know. She had a question or something for you, but it's not on
We were
my
about
end
to
either.
order backdrops, and Roxanne wanted to know if your line is okay, or do you need an expensive cloth as needed? Oh, she wants to know about backdrops. Any backdrop will
Well,
work, so I'll let her know. I'll just let her know tomorrow.
I think you just
can-
did.
Is
I
she
have-
in here?
Yeah.
I have a green screen that I got for Christmas.
Green screen backdrops? No, I have some really neat velvet ones in the other room, but last time I took them out of my backpacks, they were like falling all apart because they're like over 20 some years old.
Oh wow.
But we can do backdrops real easy.
Yeah. And Scotty,
just let me know what color you need.
Yeah. And Scotty, related question: will there be a code of conduct at this year's class? Because last year Dee Dee got into a knife fight, and I told her you can't bring the switchblades in, and you can't get into those knife fights, Dee Dee, and she did it anyway. So we have to have some code of conduct. You
That's
know,
true. That's true.
because it's getting a little out of hand. I think.
She's a hard one to control. I had to get in Edge stream. I had to summon Sue Harkey to control your ass.
Well, that's true, but that's just because I was hooked on crystal meth last year. But that's all different now. I'm a lot better, and everything's going to be fine.
lot
Look,
better.
Scotty, I have to actually raise my level now. I can't
Oh,
curse at the auctions anymore.
Yeah.
I'm speaking at 2 things, so I have to be on my best behavior. I do have a special tribute plan though for my Friday talk, which I'm not going to talk about now. But
Okay.
if you come to the Friday talk, you'll see the special tribute.
I'm not very good at making the talks at the Clash, unfortunately.
Oh, I am terrible at that.
I
will
like
do my
at the
best.
ALA, I can make every single one. But as soon as it's like somewhere where there's a lot of people to talk to, forget it.
I'm pretty confident at any other show I'd be a lot better at making the talk.
Dee Dee says you're giving up all her secrets. Yeah,
She is
wait till
one
he
tough
starts telling
broad.
about how you and he buried a hooker.
Hey, look,
Well,
if,
Dr.
If-
Ted,
if you come to one of my talks, I have the Friday talk. I got Zen Ginger popping out of a cake, and at the Saturday talk, I have
Does Zenny
Cheryl
know
doing
this?
a limbo pole, doing like a limbo pole. There's ways to get people into the talk, Scotty. You've got to do some incentives. For example, we could do Scotty tossing. We can toss you down the aisle if people come to the talk. We have to do incentives. For example, come to this Saturday morning talk, you can force fed peas to Ed. There's ways to get people to come to the talk,
Nancy, I didn't get that message either. Rachel, I do know they are doing some big renovations. I was there last weekend.
Hey, George.
And they're doing a lot of renovations. They completely
Hi, George.
redid the bistro.
Oh, wow.
The breakfast bistro.
Well, the most important thing, can we get Artie? Oh, God. Scotty, I knows what that means. Gonna get RDP as auctioneer. Tom, do you want people to stay for the auction or you want them to leave early? Jenna P is here. I always say I go to Steven's site. I go to see Steven, but we stay for Jenna P. I'm going to add Scotty to the volunteer schedule for Ted's talks, so he has to be there. Yeah, because Scotty, I'm just going to call out Scotty here. All he does is just bark orders all weekend.
Yeah, that's all he does.
He stands up and he says, "I'm the emperor and I want dumplings." And I don't know what that means, but he yells it out. He yells it out every couple of hours. So, we have to get his ego in check, so everyone just, help him out. But again, if you're at the Clash, the best thing you can do is if you see a volunteer, just say thank you. Because these 2 clubs that do it, they don't need the money anymore. They have very active clubs that have they have an auction every single month. Well, but I'm saying you guys really do this as a service to the hobby, and say thank you to them when you see them. Don't complain if things aren't perfect. Someone did that with the Bucks County auction. I'm like, seriously, this is a volunteer club. They don't have to do this. Say thank you. We need more gratitude in this hobby, and I'm off my soapbox now. Thank you very much.
Bucks County, it's where it's at.
Oh, that's a nice town.
That is where President Scotty rules his fiefdom.
Yes.
Nancy B. In Ed's defense, I haven't had anything on that particular chat since May 2nd. So
is this your Discord, you mean?
No, it's a group chat with the groomsmen that she had referred to earlier in Ed's show. And then Nancy says, Foxy, I messaged Ed 2 or 3 times about fish eggs. He doesn't get mine either.
Oh crap!
But I will
I gotta
back it
check
on
that
this
out.
one.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Ed is, Ed's so busy now. He's, a celebrity, and
Yeah,
he has to.
he's
I
big
think you have to
time.
reach out to Ed's people and let Ed's people do it for you. He's got the
You
personal
know,
assistant now and all that stuff. So
That one's to
I
you.
was
So,
terrible. Last year, I did something that I never do, and I got mad at a volunteer, and I hollered at him,
yeah, but she
and I
had it
felt
coming.
terrible
No,
about
you should
that.
not have
I
felt bad about that.
apologized, and she was real nice about it, but I was
But you,
cranky. Yeah, I guess it was 2 years ago. I was
that was 2 years
I was
ago.
It's
escaping all
2 years ago.
day,
we're
Yeah,
all
and I have
tired. We're all
well,
sleep deprived, Ed, at the Clash. We're all sleep deprived. Don't feel bad.
my
You apologize though, and that
yeah,
was the important thing.
but
my
sometimes the people deserve it. There, Ed. You weren't the only person with that one.
No,
well, I was escaping, and I'm not supposed to stand like that all day, so I was aching really bad. I have a degenerated disc, or not disc, but my whole spine's falling apart now, and I was really sore. And all I wanted was some caffeine, like a pop, and she wouldn't let me have it. And then she let somebody else have a bag of chips that wasn't wearing a tag, and I got really cranky.
Lady R, Dr. Ted has done a stream on the co-op stream.
yeah, I
but-
don't post it. Yeah, I'm doing the Tub Talk, and I do a few talks. Corey asked me to speak on the co-op, so if you're a member there, you could see him. I do Zoom talks for fish clubs. If you have a fish club, I people ask me, I do those. But other than that, I really don't travel anymore. Except for the Keystone Clash
I can't
this
even
September in Morgantown, PA.
I can't even get him to
Holy
come to
place, you get to see
Lancaster.
this guy live.
Because it's
I'm going to get my.
yes.
How
even
much do you charge
Lancaster's
for
in-
autographs?
Well, my autograph is free, but if you want me to sign it, Scotty Schmidt, it's an extra 40. At least that's what Scotty told me I have to charge. So I want to be
And you got to
compliant.
spell the name right.
And I got to spell it with an I. If I spell it with an IE, it's actually 50. So
Yeah.
at least that's what Scotty told me that I have to charge. So, I want to
You
be
got to
compliant.
meet Heather Green, Ed?
You
Yeah.
met the Heather Green
The
I've
Heather
met
Green.
I
with
have
no
actually met.
E at the end.
I've met a whole lot of people in my days.
Hmm. I don't know if you know this, but Ed was a former roadie for the Ozzy Osbourne Blizzard of Oz tour. He even did that for a summer. He's sort of like the Forrest Gump of Fish Fam.
Ted, I think
was
you met Heather Green too, it looks like.
I was the Aqua Shell interviewer in controller for a while, so I met a lot of people when I did those days. My
Yeah,
boss
this was
is
in
in here with
Atlanta.
Carrie, but look, Steve-O just showed up. Scuba Steve-O, and you want to see his? What do you think Scuba Steve-O's G.I. Joe looks like, Dr. Ted?
I don't know because I see everyone. So if that's what he looks like in real life, it's kind of frightening. If that's what he looks like
Hey,
in
Jorge.
real life, it kind of explains his dating life. So
Oinky.
Oh,
Oinky,
he
I'm
just
not
had a
thinking
baby.
Yeah, he did. Oinky,
He's
I'm
all
not
about the
thinking
action.
the photo op,
All
I'm
the
thinking
girls
about
love
the dollar bills
Steve-O.
I
I
can take.
hope that's not what he looks like.
Well, his story is that he was a diver for G.I. Joe, and Cobra put some toxic stuff in his air tanks, and now he's stuck at the bottom of the ocean, but he's joined the Tennessee Fish Mafia as our #1 collector.
Nice.
I'm digging it.
It says, I have a legit stripper pole I can bring to the Clash. Think of the photo ops, says
If
Oinky.
Rico Stan does a strip pole thing, I will, Scotty, I will pay a double registration.
He might do it too.
I will pay a double registration for that.
Yeah, but Ted, if I'm on it, that's midget pole dancing.
Then I want a
That's not
discount to
good
my
for anybody.
registration. Then I would like a refund for my registration, please. So I have to.
Even if it wasn't Scotty, I have been to those shows, and you don't want to go.
Yeah, and Scotty, since I'm speaking, I will need hazard pay if I witness that. Okay?
What's a dumpling? Come on, Steven.
I haven't made a mermaid set yet. But once I figure out how to get my 3D printer to start actually making people's heads, it's going to be
Wow.
a whole new league. I bought
Wow.
one of those 3D printers specialized for little things, super detailed. And there's this program where you can just take a photo of somebody's head and it'll just fake what the back looks like, because nobody cares what the back of their head looks like. All I want is the face, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm going to do.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to probably just start doing everybody, even though I have an action figure of Stephen P. because I found a professional wrestler that looks just like him.
I would like a Mego Klingon action figure with like
Oh my goodness! Look at you
Woo!
go.
with like Scotty's head on it or something like
That'd be
that. That
Well,
would be cool.
I bought a
you
Mego
need to cut the
last
legs
week.
off of that thing then. Nancy, I swear, I'm looking at the chat that is involved there, and that is nothing was said until Pep said it after I did today. So I don't know what's going on over there.
I
There's
actually
some
do
weird
have
thing
the
going on.
Scotty Schmidt action figure. Here it is. This is what he wears around the. This is his Scotty's security uniform, and this is the Scotty action figure.
You need to cut that down at the knees, though.
The
I
Scotty
collect
action
those
figure
too.
right there.
I bought this one just last week. I
can't see it.
collect the old fashioned ones from
Yes.
the old horror movies.
Oh yes, I remember when Mego came. You know, it's funny. There's guys my age. We threw out all these toys we had as a kid, and then we
Oh
spend
my
our money
God.
older trying to buy them back for
Yep.
your man cave. I have a small man cave. I have a few things up here. I also have the Aurora model kits. I have a few of those. I don't know if you were into those, Ed.
I don't know. I'd probably have to
I am
see
suggesting
it.
that.
Are they from the monsters? The Universal monsters?
That
Model
looks
kits?
like that looks like some people I see who go to fish clubs right there. That's
This is Peter Boyle and Gene Wilder.
Right, Scotty? Every
Yeah.
fish club has someone who looks like that.
Yes.
Is this the models? This was a Creature of the Black Lagoon, but I turned him into Cthulhu.
You are really into Cthulhu. Does he protect you from eating peas with Stephen P?
He would never. His tentacles get in the way, so you can't get peas in Cthulhu's mouth. That's why I wish I was Cthulhu. You
Then
could
how
never
do you
get a pea in my
swallow?
mouth if I had tentacles.
Then how
hanging
do you
all over.
swallow, Ed?
What?
Then how do you swallow?
Okay, there we go.
Oh,
Oy.
How you feeling, Whip?
I'm feeling good. My kid is still about an hour or two out, though, so we got a long ways to go.
You're still coherent. Okay.
Yeah, doing all right.
Yes,
we're about
Stephen, that is
we're about
accurate.
8 shots in at this point.
You know, Scotty, there's a fish tank right next to you. You could just take a swig of that next time we say the word swallow.
Where's there a fish tank?
Damn it!
There's a big one like right behind you.
Oh, really?
you could probably lick your cat.
Yes, why don't you lick that pussy, Scotty, and let
Wow!
Oh,
Woo! Good thing I'm
I'm
not.
glad he said
What
that, not me.
What?
Good grief.
Normally,
What?
I'm the guy that accidentally says things like that.
I'm talking about you guys have a very dirty mind. This show needs a code of
Good
conduct.
grief.
A code of conduct on this show would be very beneficial, I think. I'm just
Are you
appalled.
reading this there, Mr. Ed? Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed.
What's it? I'm sorry. What does Sonny G want to know?
No.
Look at the screen, Ed.
Which one?
There's only one.
Do you all know that Chattanooga Ed is my favorite YouTuber? Hey, it's also on this screen too.
Ever.
Oh, Nico's falling.
Ever.
The word
like
says,
not just
and
now.
there we have another cat. You are driving Whip and I crazy with all these damn cats.
He was just stepping on my wet stuff.
Did you know that if like you
Ah.
and I mean, you guys are into cats. Did you know if you and Scotty were like 2 inches tall, they would eat you instantly? They
Yes.
wouldn't care that you're Scotty and Ed. They would eat
It
you.
would be
Whereas
so awesome. Then I could ride on their back.
No, you'd be in their belly
You'd be in their belly, whereas a dog would still lick you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
and love you and hug you and squeeze you and everything forever.
that
The
cat is
dog
just
would
looking
eat
at
me
you.
too,
That
No.
and
cat
then
is
he would
looking
poop
at.
me out and eat me again.
Hey, who hasn't done
Or-
that at least one time in their life, right?
Or the cat
Come
would
on.
eat me, and then the dog would eat me afterwards. After the cat poops me in the.
Well, thanks for burning that image in our minds. I'm not going to have a late night snack now, but that's okay.
But at least I'd be covered in kitty litter.
Cheryl
As-
says it would be fun to
great.
have Dr. Ted talk at our club in Kansas City. Well, you
Oh.
need to invite him out.
Woo.
I bet he'd come.
Kansas City barbecue sauce. Yum. You guys make the
Oh,
best barbecue sauce.
That's out of Ted's bubble.
I miss it so
Oh,
much.
God.
What is the club in Kansas City?
Kansas City barbecue sauce is sweeter and smoky, and it's my favorite.
Whip has given, like when Whip's daughter, she lives in Kansas City. So he sometimes buys me some of the gates. Oh my God, it's so nice. Oh, I love it.
Although I will say
I
the
don't
Kansas
like
City
Southern.
The Kansas City airport is like I'm going back to the former Soviet Union. I
I grew
was
up
on
by
a-
that. I grew up
I
in
was on a-
Parkville.
Oh, okay. I was on a
I
paleontology
don't know what
dig.
that is, but then he's like,
I was digging for dinosaurs in Wyoming on a paleontology dig, and I'm flying home, and we had mechanical problems. We have to stop at Kansas City. So we stop at 7 p.m. The freaking airport's closed. I'm like, and I'm looking around. I mean, the place looks like I'm like in Cuba. So I had to
Well-
find a hotel and then fly home. It was a total mess. So it was during
It used to-
COVID.
It used to be happening place when they had TWA there. TWA had a hub in Kansas City and a hub in St. Louis. And
Yeah,
both
they got-
airports were so popular at the time.
They got
And
they
then,
got rid of the hub system. Yeah. Yeah.
Foxan.
Yeah.
But that's how I learned a little Japanese,
And
because
I
my next door
probably missed
neighbor
you,
was a
Dave, but
TWA
still, yeah.
pilot.
Ed,
From
you
Japan.
really are the Forrest Gump of fish fame. You've like been everywhere. You learn Japanese. You have cats crap on you. You've done it all.
Yep. Baby Cat just jumped up here too.
Oh, that's awesome.
See? There's Baby Cat. She's sleeping in the bed.
Jenna
Mike,
wants to know, is that reptile one the one that looks just like Steven?
Yeah.
This reptile one, I'd never seen this before. And I try to get all the old movies. And I was just shocked when I saw it at Walmart.
Let me
See, it's
what I
under the
have here.
horror movies.
That doesn't answer her question, Ed.
This one is very
This
obscure,
is a
Ed.
girl. Look, she's got chesticles.
This one is very obscure.
Oh,
I don't know if you know
that's
this one.
That still
This
could
one-
be Steven.
Ed, this was the series that was banned because it was so violent. This is a model kit, and these were so graphic that mothers got together and had them banned. And you see,
I remember when they did that to KB Toy, and it just hurt KB Toy so much.
I remember
so
that.
they had these here. This is called Dr. Deadly. I
Wow.
bought this one when I was like 10 years old at a model shop, and they were pretty
Wow.
brutal, but they reintroduced them. Mobius came out with them. So and you can see why some of them were quite graphic, and there was a whole, if you can go on Wikipedia and see about the outrage about them. The 70s were an interesting time to be a kid, to
Yeah.
say the least.
Oh my gosh, like our lawn darts that we used to play with.
Lawn jarts.
Yeah, right.
Playing with lawn darts when I was 5 years old, flinging them
Let's-
around.
Why don't we take a sword and put wings on it and throw it up in the air and see where it lands? That's a good idea for kids.
Man, I was friends with a couple twins back in the day, Kylie and Jody, and they were.
All
we
right,
all
now
played
we're
with each other.
now we're hearing some
And-
stories. Let's go.
She took
Woo!
one right in the noggin, and it split.
I'm
her
sure
skull.
she did.
We were very young, Dr. Deb. We were very young. And-
Wait a minute. So
oh,
she actually got hit with like a lawn jart?
yeah,
Oh, that's-
it
yeah.
split her wide open.
Oh
She was
God.
bleeding like a stuck pig.
they
it was
banned those things because of that. So
yeah,
but you
because
know
people are
something?
silly.
Why don't we bring them back to the class? Scotty, you have a lot of room there in the vendor room. Let's do Jart night.
That doesn't sound safe.
Of course, back in the
Well, not
80s,
safe,
they
but
had the commercial at the end of the night at 10 o'clock reminding the dumbass parents that they did actually have kids and that they
yes,
know where they were.
it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah, just gentle reminder, you do have children. You know where they're
Yeah.
at.
I was so lucky. I was never given a curfew.
Well, that explains a lot.
They just trusted me.
So, in other words, you could have peas any time of day. There was no curfew.
Hey,
My mom wouldn't
whoa!
cook me peas.
Oh, I can't wait to meet Jenny.
See, I
I
was born and raised in the Bronx. I had a self curfew. I did not want to go out of the house after 10 p.m.
Oh, see, I grew up in a little town, so we were out 12, 1, 2. It didn't matter. There was no real danger for us.
we
Now,
would
if I
play
get
sports until the sun went down, then you went home.
Oh,
And you'd watch Good
wiffle ball.
Times.
Yes.
wiffle ball,
Wiffle ball.
Yeah,
I did wiffle ball
soccer,
all day
wiffle
long.
ball,
Yeah.
football.
football, you'd play football all day long.
Yeah, and it was
Played a lot of
so
soccer
great.
too.
Oh, that was, and I as a kid, I had a lab in the shed to make crack. It was so much fun. We would do that day and night, and I'd sell it and I would sell it on the streets. Ah, good times, good times. The
Yeah,
whole
good times.
the whole innocence of youth dealing on the streets. I so miss it. The kids nowadays, you know. And we were like, really poor. There was 7 of us living in a brown paper bag. The kids nowadays just really, don't understand it. It's you know.
I got my North Fin 3X shirt from Ben Ochart, and yes, I can put multiple hoop skirts under it and make a dress. I bet, because you are like this big.
Now, if we can put that on Scotty for the award
All
ceremony, I'm paying double.
all my shirts are 3X shirts. She can make a lot of dresses.
Yeah, right. Oh, do we have an actual fish?
Stephen, it is not about Rasboras, it's about Danios. Damn you, Stephen. Damn you, damn you.
Now, have you ever done Rasboras outside?
I did, but the relationship did not work out. So I did Rasboras, but we just couldn't click. So we stopped dating. The fish. I've done
Hey,
scissor
Foxy.
tail. I've done scissor tail
Hi, Foxy.
Rasboras outside, Ed. Scissor tail Rasboras I've done outside.
You see, but like scissor tails, there's so many of those fish. I don't think I would do because they just don't look very pretty from above.
No, they look prettier. They're really, if you're a BAP slut like me, a Breeders' Award Program guy, you're putting fish out to just breed to get the points. And then they look nice when you bring them in to bring to the show. So it all depends.
I need to start doing that.
There's some fish we keep outside for the way they look, and there's some we keep outside for the challenge, right? So
That's to you. I don't know
I
what
got
she's
you.
talking about.
is
Is
because
it to
I
me?
did.
Oh, doctor.
Because I told her when I had to stop in Kansas City, I was at a paleontology dig. I did that as like a ecotourism thing for a week. That was hard work. That was exhausting, dirty, often mundane work in the field in the hot sun. That was in Bighorn Basin, Lady Rorschach, on the Wyoming-Montana border. And I did uncover a Diplodocus, which is my favorite dinosaur. So I was thrilled. The last day I finally found something. So that was a lot of fun.
Do you
But
just like it
really,
because it has a
That's
weird
cool
face?
as hell.
I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was a kid back in the 70s. This is before dinosaurs were nerdy cool. No one was really into them except me. So I got a lot of wedgies growing up. So and so when I turned, I took a sabbatical.
Uh-oh. He pulled
Oh.
a wire.
Yep.
Wait, I'm
For a
going to
second, I
tell
thought it
him.
was me.
I was a huge dinosaur kid in the 70s too. I wanted to be a pterodactyl for Christmas or for Halloween. One year I was a pterodactyl. It's hard to talk without him talking.
I know, right? But he's got a good image. At least he's not doing something weird. He's just
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
whole ear pull.
Maybe he's saying hi to someone.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Scotty,
believe-
it's really nice having you up here. You had
Yeah.
to work awfully late tonight. What's going on?
Yeah.
There
What
were
happened?
two proms. There were two proms at the aquarium. So the one had like 400 kids. The other one had like 200 some. And just because there was that many people and stuff, and not that much leadership, I had to be there.
Oh, I totally understand. Well, are
Same
you going to
thing
be free
tomorrow night.
tomorrow, or is there a prom tomorrow?
Same thing tomorrow night. It's actually going to be even more kids.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you're
But
not
I
going to
know.
be home until late tomorrow night too, or is somebody else
Yeah.
in charge that night?
No, it's me again. So I go and I get there early just so I'm there during the day as well for a little
Hey,
bit
running water.
to get some of the stuff that I have to get done, and then until the kids start to leave is how late I stay. So I don't have to stay till the very end, but
Elishon wants to know if there were any good prom fights.
not tonight. No.
Not tonight, maybe
Was there-
tomorrow.
Were there any that were a little overly slutty? I went to a toy show.
All of them.
The way
I went
kids
to
dress these days is sad.
Oh, well, I went to a toy show last year in Atlanta, and it was the same night as a convention or as a prom.
Mhm.
And there were like girls falling out of their tops all over the place. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
these girls need to get straps or something because they're just children's.
Yes,
That is the thing.
I agree. And then I think tomorrow night it's a wedding.
She says, leave the slutty teenagers alone.
I think tomorrow night's a wedding and a prom.
Who said that?
Nancy.
Careful,
I see it.
careful. Don't be talking about them youngsters.
Oh, and they're from Georgia, and she doesn't like me talking bad on Georgia.
So you're into the Jurassic Park figures and dinosaurs. That was probably meant for Dr. Ted, who unfortunately glitched out.
You know, I got Nancy's action figure done.
What?
If Nico, get off my shoulder, off my hand, so I can get Nancy.
Just move him.
Come on, come on.
Move him. Pick him up. He's
Thank
only
you.
like 10 pounds.
He's about 15.
Yeah, Webb, he's 15.
So what happened Tuesday, Scotty? Everything kind of fell apart.
What was Tuesday?
D&D night. I don't know what happened, but nobody played.
Oh, Chris wasn't feeling good, and you weren't going to be there, and I ended up having to work late. But that was I was the last person to back out, and who else wasn't going to be there? There was somebody else.
Was Kitty and who else is left? There's Kitty and
Who I think it is, and Ed is all it was.
and what about Kalish?
Kalish? She had some. She was stuck at work or something too. Yeah, like there was like nobody.
So it was a complete failure.
Yes.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Alishon, when do we gotta contact you by for the group buy? We have Brand.
Dino Riders. I don't know what that is.
Hmm?
Nothing. I was just reading Nancy. Oh no, that
We
was.
have, what's it
I don't know
called?
what the Dino Riders.
Me neither.
I had a hard time finding her because she was with the Dreadnoughts, because she's an undercover agent for the Tennessee Fish Mafia. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
hangs out with the biker gang of the Dreadnoughts. And look,
Is that, or that's Nancy, not that.
That looks just like Nancy. Every picture
Look,
I've ever seen of Nancy, that could
Yeah.
be her.
she has
That is
grenades
her.
on her hip, and then she's quick with her gun. And then look, she's got a Georgia t-shirt on. That's the first time I ever met her. She was wearing a Georgia t-shirt, and she has a grenade painted on her back.
Wow.
So she's like a biker girl, undercover. She's really a very appropriate person.
Yes.
What'd she think?
She said it's awesome.
Oh, awesome. Did you notice that it was a Georgia t-shirt, Nancy?
Oh,
nice.
look at that.
Awesome.
Yes, Alshon, I think, yeah.
She did.
Yes.
Love the Georgia shirt.
She's an undercover agent. I think that's cool.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to go to bed.
Well, go to bed then.
Yeah.
Fine.
I will be listening.
Well, I don't know how much
Well-
longer we're going to go. I just was kind of, I was going to end 45 minutes ago, but
Are
we
you
were
off
on a
tomorrow?
roll.
You're off tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm off. Well, technically, I don't have to go to work, but I have to work.
Side
Because
work?
we've got my kid's kid is graduating high school, and then I have a Mother's Day, Father's Day, which we lovingly call MFR Day on
Mhm.
Saturday, and then a graduation party on Sunday. So, and it's all being held at my house every time. So,
Good grief.
I
you
need to
Tater
set-
going to be there?
Who?
Tater?
Tater?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's going to be good for you.
How do I get back to?
To what?
I don't have when I host. I don't get
I got it.
private
I
chat.
got
There it is.
I got it.
Okay. Shoot him the link.
Yeah, I got it. Ted, I just sent it to you.
My best friend in real life is named Ted.
He's a
No,
preacher.
it's not. It's Whip.
Yep. In high school, we were Ted and Ed all the time. We had a
Ed and
teacher that
Ted.
would always say Ted, Ed, Fred, because her husband's name was Fred.
When are we playing again, since we didn't get to on Tuesday?
It won't be this weekend for me. You guys can play whenever you can get. Happy MFR Day. You damn right, man.
Look at how cool my shirt is.
It'd be cooler if it was a dog.
But look, he's knocking a coffee off the table.
Yep. That's a cat. Look at even Nico's like looking at it like, quit giving away our secrets.
All right. Good night, guys.
See you later, buddy. Do you have to work in the
Which
morning, I
one's-
assume?
No, I'm same thing as today. I go in late, but
Oh, okay.
my body's used to waking up early, so
Yep.
Poor guy.
I hear you there. Ted
Bye.
and Fred. See you later, bud. Thanks for
I hope you have
jumping
an
on.
awesome lunch.
Nancy says Ted and Fred books when I was a kid. I don't know what that means. It must be
Oh,
a
they were
series or something.
dogs.
And there is Dr. Ted right there. He comes up just as Scotty leaves. Sorry, buddy. Ed did that to me earlier today where I sat in the break room for like an hour and a half.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah?
guys.
Hey.
Hey, sorry, I fell asleep there.
Your tanks all turned it off. Or you drained them.
Goodness.
Did you drain all your tanks and put them outside?
I did a huge water change, ate dinner, and came back. How are you?
You ain't been gone that
G.I.
long.
Joe's
Sir.
still there.
Changing my settings
All right.
here.
Look, did you see Nancy B's action figure?
I've heard about it.
Oh, the kid's in Davenport. She's only an hour and a half away.
There you go.
I am looking now. This goes to all you 3D printers people. I am looking for what are those particular bikes that you like, Oinky? It's like a scooter. It's named like a professional name. Gosh, I think it's what starts with a Y.
Yamaha?
They're the ones that are like highway, they're big and powerful bikes, but they're like scooter bikes. You sit on them instead of like straddle them. She has like a highway one.
Oh, I know what they're called. Yeah,
I have no
I
idea
know
what
what
you're
you're
talking
referring
about.
to. I can't.
Oh,
think
there
of the
she
name
goes.
now.
I
They
have
Japanese.
Yeah.
They have a
Kimco Grand Vista.
Yes, and I want to make her one of those because she has to come with a super accessory because she deserves it. And I'm going to take a picture
wow.
of it.
That can go a few different ways right there. So maybe we should change the subject. She come. What type of doll are we talking, Ed? One of those when you're lonely, or are we talking an action figure? So
Yes.
Yes.
both. Okay. Thanks for burning that image of mine. I'm gonna have a drink now. Thank you.
All my action figures are because I'm lonely.
That's a lot to swallow. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
God dang it.
swallow. Yeah, I'm almost out of tea.
I'm almost out too. There's been too
I'm
much
almost out of jokes.
swallowing going
So-
on.
What, Dr. Ted, one of the things that you said would be an awesome fish to tub is sparkling grommies.
Yeah, sparkling gouramis are so easy to do outside. They're easier to breed outside than indoors. They make their bubble nest under the leaves of the water lily, and you don't even see the nest. And then you're in the tub and you see these fry swimming around. They grow real fast. Like I'll pull them out in September. The juvies are almost the size of the adults, and they look fabulous. And you can keep them in a small tub. I bred them
Talk
in
to
a
me
35
about
gallon.
the Gourami disease. I've heard a lot about Gourami disease that
There's a
prevalent
virus.
in
I believe.
virus.
Yeah, Tom can talk about this better than I can. There's a dwarf gourami virus supposedly, and I don't know how prevalent it is or if it's a thing of the past or all I know is I can't get female dwarf gouramis for shit, right? You can only get males. So when you try to breed them, and also you don't see them as much in the stores anymore because of this. I don't know what the virus is. Um, Dan's Fish sells virus-free dwarf gouramis.
That's where I
They're
first
really yeah, they're real interesting to breed outside. I got a wild pair from Frank's Fish about 15 years ago, and I bred them outside in a tub. The juvies are little gold nuggets, are like gold, solid gold nuggets. They don't look anything like the parents. They're just really cool. So
That's awesome. Why should do that for the points? I don't think anybody breeds grommies in my club.
yeah, the blue gouramis easy to breed outside. They won't molest their fry too much. The
How
fry
about
will live with
samurais?
the parents. Samurais? What? You mean the? That's a
Samurai
common name for
grommies.
which. Those are the
They're the
common names
green
for
blue
the.
striped ones.
Oh, you
They
mean
have a real flat top to their head.
the day eyes? Are you talking about the little mini dwarf day eyes?
They're about that big.
Yeah, I
That's
had
a
them
lot
once.
smarter than me. What am I thinking?
You know what fish is hard outside is the honey gourami. That's a difficult fish outside. I think paradise fish, blue gouramis are so easy outside. If sparkling gouramis are easy outside, and you can do them. And what's great because they breathe air from the surface because the lungs are on the side of their heads. You can get a really hot tub that's not well oxygenated, and they'll go to the surface and breathe. So they're really good for those situations where your tub is very hot. Like Stephen P., I just sent him down a whole bunch of blue flame gouramis. He's down in Louisiana, where he told me the water comes out of his tap at like 85 degrees from his well.
Whoa.
Holy cow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Mine comes
so
out at 76.
really?
I love it.
Wow. The virus is still around. Thank you, Tom. It's a iridovirus. Interesting. Tony Orso, who was a guy who passed away, used to sell virus-free. Yeah, there are people who claim they have virus-free dwarf gouramis. It's a beautiful fish. You know, it used to be a common fish. Yep, paradise fish are great outside. I love the albino paradise. You know, what's great about paradise fish, especially the albino ones. I used to have my kids do this. They would cup their hands in the tub and pick them up with a cup of water in their hands, and the dwarf gourami's just sitting there looking at you. I'm sorry, the paradise fish. They just sit there, and then you put them back in. It's really cool.
This
I
is
have a
a
video
samurai.
of my albinos. Oh yes, yeah, that is one of the yeah, those are the samurais. Tom Adam had those. Aren't those related to the chocolate gouramis, Tom? Aren't they in the same genre?
Oh, I think so. Well, the females look
Yeah.
very chocolatey, but
Yeah.
what I like about them is they kind of look like arrowfish almost, or archery
Like
fish.
that.
Yeah.
'Cause
I've
they have
never
such pointed,
kept them.
flat heads. I'd like to try.
So I
think
cannot
it'd be neat.
comment. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I could be like other YouTubers and comment on them even though I don't know anything, but I won't. I will say I don't know because I've never kept them.
Well, unfortunately, me too. But I'll
Running
still
Water
comment.
says,
They're
does
really
the
pretty.
virus shorten their lifespan or infect other fish?
The virus is specific to dwarf gouramis.
That's what I thought too, but it does shorten their lifespan, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, or nobody would care.
I would think so. You know, I haven't kept that fish until I had the wild ones many years ago. I again, maybe you can keep them and work with them, and maybe it's a longer death sentence. I don't know. No, this is YouTube. Make something up, Stephen. I've been
Oh,
doing
night,
that.
Dennis.
You know,
Dennis has got a doctor's appointment, so he's going to bed.
Yep, I already said goodbye. You were
Dennis. I hope you're feeling better.
engaged. I look forward to meeting you all at the class. And one more, I am definitely gonna. I don't think I've met you yet. I must have walked past you like 100 times, but I don't think I've actually like stopped and talked to you because I would have remembered.
I
Well, I
want to
shouldn't
see
say that.
one
I
more
would probably
fish's
have remembered.
faces. I need to
What?
see one more fish's face to know who they are.
I've seen him on live streams, and that's why I'm like, I don't think I've actually stopped and talked to him.
Well, that's really one of the great things about going to these hobby events, right? You get to meet these people up close and you know
Yep,
have
yep.
some
I
real
met
human
Bucci 2
contact.
years ago. I met you.
Yep.
We sat and chatted for a little bit with Rico, if I remember
Yeah.
right. It was the three of us. Maybe somebody else was sitting there too. I don't
Yep.
remember.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I met Dan
Well, I've
from
met
Dan's Fish for a
one more
while.
fish a bajillion times.
Bentley, I met him for a
It's
bit.
a very friendly place. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very friendly place. You know, it's not set up like a trade show or a vendor show. It's set up as a social event.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so great. And you know, other cities have these things. Find the one near you. It's a different vibe than an Aquashella, which you know, it's more of a social
can be.
hobbyist event.
It depends on what you go to Aquashella for. Like I find Aquashella
Right.
personally
Right.
to be very similar just because I'm only going there to meet people. I am not
Yeah.
walking
Exactly.
around doing the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you
So,
go
I mean,
to the
Right.
YouTuber booth, then you're just having fun and hanging out the whole time.
exactly. Yeah, and that's where
Right.
people
Right.
kind of lose
And we all
the,
go out to eat together, or we used to. I don't know what it is like
Right.
anymore. But it was so
That's
much
what it's
fun when
about.
Aquashella would pay for our dinners and have a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah.
my first
That's
time
really,
as a
what it's
creator, they
about.
took me to dinner. I got you were there, Ed. That
I was
first time
working.
I got yeah. I was just there as a goof signing autographs for people. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is unreal. I mean, I've got like 250 subs
Yes.
and I'm signing autographs for people.
He brought me a piece
They're
of pizza, and I was working nonstop. So if it wasn't for Whip, I wouldn't have eaten for 8 hours. I mean, I wouldn't even get to look at the show because I was like sitting in that one spot the whole
never.
time.
I will say never volunteer for a business. If you're volunteering for a business, they should pay you. If you volunteer for a nonprofit, that's different, right? So
Right, right.
I just don't understand people volunteering for a business. Why are you doing free labor?
Right.
Well,
Because
I donated my money back. So, but it
It's
was because they would give us so much stuff.
well, yeah. So
And I mean, even the
there was
owner
some
was
type of
donating.
exchange, right?
Even the
There was
owner
some
was
type of
donating.
exchange. Yeah,
yeah,
And
right.
that was what was paying for all of our dinners and stuff.
right,
Because
right.
they would buy me like 3 or 4 dinners during the weekend, and they were paying for my room, my
If you're
gas, and
working
all
it,
that stuff. It
well,
was great.
if you're working it and they're not paying you a salary, they should at least do that. They should at least
Yeah,
comp your
right.
room and pay for your
100%.
food at least, right? So they're getting the better end of that deal. They're coming
Looks
to
like
New
Winky
Jersey in
and one more
September.
are both going to the Jersey one.
Yes, that's going to be in early September, so I'll be there. I'll probably just go down for the day. Um,
Yeah, I'm really
I'm not
interested to
into.
see how it's going to be run.
Yeah, I don't know. I know
Didn't they
Scotty
just do
was
the Dallas
concerned.
one? Is there any feedback from the Dallas one that just happened? Didn't that just like
You
go
know
on?
who's there? Yeah,
Oh,
Vibes was there. Vibes was at the Dallas one, so we can ask him.
Uh-oh.
yeah. And Jerry was there, Papa Shrimp. He had a really good time. I saw a lot of stuff from him, and
Good.
Shelby and Grant were there. I think.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
Shelby was a talker.
we had the aquatic experience in New Jersey a few years back. That was
I
like
went
a
to that.
competing trade show. Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Was it
you were there. That was okay.
Aquashella replaced it, right?
No, it
Wasn't
didn't
that
really
what?
replace it. It just it went and it merged with this giant fish thing in LA. Or not fish thing, but pet shit thing in LA.
Yeah.
So they just could do all because the aquatic experience was also to like promote to vendors too. It was really
Yes, it was.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like a car show or something.
Ed, do you remember that shrimp show at the wasn't that insane?
Oh
There
my god.
was like
And
300
Luke,
entries of those high-end class mini nano tanks that they donated. Holy, people were
Luca
judging
talked to me
single
for like
shrimp.
3 hours.
God, that
Chris
was
Luca
crazy.
was
Yeah.
explaining them all to me. It was so cool. And then my dad was talking to some people from Korea, and they were trying to
They're
sell him their fish
they're
or their
really
shrimp, and they wanted like $500 a shrimp or something. And my dad's
yes.
like,
No, no, I mean some of the shrimp people go crazy. There was a shrimp that sold in France. They sold a single one for $2,000.
That's crazy.
I
well,
know.
somebody sold
It's like the koi
shrimp.
people that spend $100,000 or $200,000 on a fish. I'm like, come on, what's wrong with you? That's
And
just a sign that you've got too much damn money.
that's what we call FU money up here in
Yeah,
the
right.
States.
But
Yeah.
the New York club was very nice. The New York club like ran that shrimp thing. And
Oh,
all those
okay.
guys from New York, I don't know what part of New York, it was like the city. They came in from the city. And I was like, they were like, yeah, we're into shrimp because we don't have much room in our little apartments. It's like,
Yeah,
well, that
yeah.
makes
And
sense.
yep, yep, makes sense.
They were
But
really nice
yeah,
guys.
I really like the club run events. They're a little less crowded, a little less stressful.
A
You have
lot
the
less crowded than
hospitality.
Aquashella.
Yeah, yeah. And you have the
Yeah, a lot of
hospitality
fun.
room. And I would
You,
recommend if you go to the class, you go to the barbecue joint, which is about 5 miles down the road. It's freaking awesome.
we normally go to the wing place. Thursday night has
Yeah.
50-cent wings, and they're good wings.
Oh, okay.
So I think last year we ate there 3 nights in a row. But
I've got to
I know
try
we're
it.
planning on trying to go to that buffet. So Crystal, one night I'm
Yes.
taking you to the buffet with my
Where
D&D
is the
friends. At
buffet?
least. It's
Okay.
Yeah,
supposed to be some giant Amish buffet,
Yeah, I haven't been there.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. The Amish buffet. Ted loves the windmill. Yeah, the windmill.
Oh, I ate there too.
Oh,
I've ate there twice.
yeah. Our friend got food poisoning there,
Oh
and then
no.
the next year he goes in his room, and in the goodie bag is a 10% coupon for the windmill. We started cracking up. We're like, yeah. He
Yeah.
spent his whole day, his whole weekend in the Clash nearly in his room vomiting. So
That's happened to me at Nashville. I used to be a union shop steward for the UAW, and they would send
uh-huh.
us to different cities for classes and stuff, and they sent us to Nashville. And there's this place called Dick's, and they're all real big jerks to you. And I said, no mustard. I'm allergic to mustard. And they put extra mustard on my burger, and I ate it,
What?
and I was stuck on the toilet for
What a bunch of
20 hours.
assholes.
I know. They were like, oh, we didn't think you were really allergic to it. You just didn't like it. And it's like, no, I love it, but I'm allergic to it.
God.
And you didn't
But yeah.
taste it when you first bit into it, or was it all that with just the one bite was enough?
Well, I had everything on it. So it was like this thick. And, we were probably drinking beers and everything because, the union pays for everything when we go on these trips. So, and we're talking and I'm with a group. And then all of a sudden I'm like, it makes blisters my lips and tongue.
Oh, that's
And if
horrible.
it gets all the way
man.
down, then I'm stuck
you
on a
poor
toilet.
guy.
If it gets that far. So yeah, that was pretty horrible. I think maybe it had so much grease and everything else. I didn't even taste it until I had put enough of it
Until it
down.
was too late. Huh, I shouldn't have eaten that.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to get
we
allergic
are
to tree
taking
nuts.
requests. Oh no, because tree nuts are in so many good things too. Oh, that's a shame.
Like when I eat like chocolate chip cookies with walnuts in them, I start my lips and tongue start to get numb.
Oh yeah.
And that's how it used to be.
I'm
when
allergic
I hit
to-
puberty and got allergic to mustard when I was just first getting into it.
Oh. I'm allergic to tetramin. I can't really eat that anymore. I used to devour that, and now I had to switch to aquarium flakes. So tetramin, I'm completely allergic to. So
I'm with you on that. Yeah, bloodworms will get me. Yeah.
I am allergic to bloodworms. So you and I, Whip, are one of the 10% who your whole face explodes. Oh God, it was terrible. Yeah, I would never. I avoid them.
I just don't like the smell they make on my hands.
Bloodworms?
Yeah.
I can't
I
smell.
walk around with them in my hand,
all.
dropping them in tanks, and they start to stink.
No.
I make sure I wash them right away.
I have to look at every can of food to see if there's bloodworms in them, and if there's not, I just don't buy the food. So
you only buy it if it has bloodworms?
Only buy it if it does not have bloodworms.
Krill and bloodworms. Those two, literally.
Krill as well,
will blow me up. Yep.
Krill
well, you
as
might want to stay
wow.
away from shellfish then.
Surprisingly, I can eat
full-
shellfish. I can eat it. Escargot? I cannot. I had escargot once, and
because it's hard not to get anything with krill in it. So you
Wow.
probably need to get a food like API's food is made with whole fish and not krill, or black
I use
soldier fly
gloves.
larvae food.
I wear
really?
the latex, yeah.
Oh wow!
So because at one time I got it on me and I didn't even think about it. I had it on me, put it in my mouth, and my mouth turned into like this. I'm not an animal. I am a human being.
So note to self at the Clash Saturday night. Give Whip some krill.
Feed Whip.
We're gonna have some
Bloodworms
fun,
or-
Ed, watching Whip turn into the Elephant Man.
No, I can't have my name attached because he might sneak mustard into something that I'll eat. So it's got to be all you.
All right. Again on me. Okay,
Or blame it on Rico.
Yeah, that's easy. But Rico's so nice, no one will really believe it. So I've got to be the bad cop, I guess. We can,
Yeah.
easy. Just blame it on Scotty. We blame everything on him anyway.
Yep. And it's hard for Scotty to remember everything. it's easy.
Exactly. He doesn't even know that he was on this feed tonight. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
well.
hope this stupid season doesn't last too long. This stupid prom season, because it's cutting into our Dungeons and Dragons nights.
Oh, really? Where do you have your Dungeons and Dragons, Ed?
We like to play like one time over the weekend, at some point occasionally with when it's basically. Do you know who Killer Kitty is?
Yes, but how does the prom season get in the way of that?
Well, see, we can only play in the evenings, and so what happens is the prom and graduations are clogging it up, so people are all busy doing that crap on their free
Okay.
days instead of Dungeons and Dragons. See, I don't have to worry about that crap anymore. I guess I have one more niece that has to graduate.
Gotcha.
She is ranked number 7 in the world in weightlifting for teenage girls.
Wow.
It's crazy. She used to be like very much an introvert, like she was afraid to talk and do everything. And all she did was eat potato chips. And she was just like a little balloon. And then she started working out at the weight or at the gym. And
Yeah.
now she freaking looks a lot like Wonder Woman. I mean, she has just
My
developed
God.
into a super powerful girl. She could be a
Wow.
professional wrestler someday. I mean,
Wow.
except I don't know if she'd like the crowds, but yeah, she
Yeah.
does the weightlifting
Hey,
in front of everybody, and she's won every tournament she's ever went to. She wins her bracket in the teenage girls.
Wow.
So going from success to like failure, Whip, can you put Oinky's last statement back up here, please, a second? 'Cause
Oh
this is
no,
so
is she
sad.
talking about my failures?
I feel like I have. So another reason to be a vegetarian. So Oinky, when you have your delicious tofu salad, do you have a nice tall glass of orphan tears with it? Because that's pretty sad. And I mean, because my goodness, who hurt you? I mean, that's what I want to know. I'm a member of PETA, people eating tasty animals.
I'm
I
telling
have
you
no
right now,
problem.
if it didn't have a face, I don't eat it.
And she is
I'm
such
going
a
to
sweet,
barbecue.
wonderful girlfriend. She breaks her rules.
She is.
And
She's
she'll eat
wonderful.
chicken. She'll eat chicken around me. She's had chicken wings.
You've
Oinky.
so you have revealed the hypocrisy. Oinky, you must make
But-
amends.
I
You've revealed.
I think it's just
that.
wings, though.
Just wings. Just
It's
the
still
birds are
chicken.
walking around with no wings.
And she
That
likes
poor
eating
little-
Good night,
from the ocean.
Jose.
She's a salt, or she's a, what's it called? What are fish in shellfish? Seafood. She likes seafood.
She is a Piscivorian.
Piscivorian.
She will eat fish.
She's good
All
at
right,
catching them,
gentlemen.
too.
I think I'm going to end it. It's been 2 hours.
It's been wonderful. Thank you guys. For letting me
I
hang out with you.
appreciate you coming back up, Dr.
Yeah.
Ted. I don't know what happened there, but
Lots of fun.
yeah.
Well, maybe in the middle of summer or something, we could have a check-in and we could show off our tubs or something.
Yeah.
If you'd want to do that. And then maybe
Sure.
before the clash, we could do a clash promotion for Scotty.
Yeah, we could do that. Yep. I'll be trying to post videos and shorts on my site as the season progresses. I'm trying to document one whole season. So there's some stuff on there now about setting up. My first water lily bloomed, and I'll be doing that all season 2. I know it's a lot to swallow.
There's a little bit left in there.
Here we go.
Speaking of which, tomorrow I'm going to go and buy my aquatic plants. Is there a plant you want me to try?
Well, are you looking for a plant to help filter your water and keep your water pristine, or are you looking for a plant that you're looking for flowers and stuff? What are you looking for?
Well, you see,
practicality or
I use it for
aesthetics?
my fry. See, I love water hyacinth because it keeps my fry,
Yes,
gives them all that roots.
It's a natural
And it's a great
spawning
filtering.
I would
It's great
do
at filtering and growing. And they're
Well,
pretty
I
for
mean,
one
then
day.
I would do a pickerel if you can get some pickerel, because that's one of the few hardy
I don't know, it was a
plants.
fish.
That means it comes back every year. That will, yeah, but it'll flower all season long. It doesn't have just a few weeks where it flowers. And it's an amazing filter. It's been shown to be that. And it's one of my go-to. I have 3 go-to filter plants that I plant in prop time, in perforated pond baskets
I
with
have
pea
those.
gravel, Vigoro pea gravel from the Home Depot, and that is aquatic iris, pickerel, and cattails, especially the European cattails. Those roots will come out of the basket and really clean the water. Then, as you know, the fry can pick on the roots and stuff. So those are my go-tos. Those you can put those about 8 inches, up to 8 inches below the water, Ed, or right at the surface, whatever you prefer. So you'll have to take some milk crates in your tubs, turn them over, put some bricks, or what I like to do, I like to just turn one of these upside down, cut a hole in it for the fish, and put the plant on top. And this goes on top of the milk crate. And that way the
That's what I
plant can
do.
be elevated because yeah, there you go.
I do that.
And I
And
like that
so,
idea you said about the white paint. Thank you, by the way.
oh, you bet. Pickerel, like Pickel.
EREL.
ERAL. It
AL?
grows native all over the place, but the ones from the pond store are going to acclimate and get less transplant shock. An aquatic iris is great. A
Isn't that what a
cattail is
water
great.
hyacinth is?
Monkey flower is no. Well, water hyacinth is a floating plant. Water hyacinth is in the same family as pickerel, and you'll know that
Oh,
because they have dark purple roots, and pickerel has dark purple roots, even though the plants don't look anything alike.
I thought they
They're
were
in the same
irises though
family. They're
too.
very, very no, and iris is a different type of plant that has a rhizome. Most of us keep garden irises, but there's aquatic
Yeah, I have
irises,
those.
a whole family of them. Um,
Well, are
Another
they
great plant is
poisonous?
monkey flower.
Monkey
No,
flower.
no, they're not poisonous. Monkey flower, aquatic monkey flower, Allegheny monkey flower, Mimulus ringens is a great filter. It gets big. It flowers in July all over the place. And the last one I have to give is Thalia dealbata.
Oh my.
Thalia. That is called hardy canna. That can get like 6 feet tall in a little pot like this in gravel. It'll bust out of the pot. And then in late summer, a flower shoots up on a tall stalk and lays flat like a bird, and hummingbirds go after it. So
Oh,
Thalia dealbata, if they have
can I
that, it's
just call it
sometimes
hardy
called hardy
canna?
canna. You can plant that deep.
It's. I
Yeah,
think
you
that's
can do
easier
a
to
hardy
spell.
canna.
Hey,
There
Jim.
are other cannas that they sell, but those would be my picks. Of course, a water lily is always nice. I keep a water lily in every tub because I want the flowers. I want to help it with evaporation. But that's a whole nother topic. So
Now, can a water lily
Are these
be
in your
a
book?
total
Just,
shade?
are
just for
are these in my books? Yes. So in my book, there's a plant compendium in the back that gives details on all these plants and a lot more if you have a shade tub or a sunny tub, and how to keep them and how to care for them. And there's a fish compendium too on fish that are easy to do outside.
And
There
it's
you go.
really nice. I mean, I wish I would have talked more about your book, but it like here's your Odessa barbs outside. They like 11 pH.
Oh,
Their
they're
temperature
great.
range 40 to 90. They can go as low as
Yeah.
40. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
what
And
happens if
when
it
you go
gets to like
online, no one
95?
says that. Well, again, if you have a tub if the surface area is wider than its depth, that will provide enough gas exchange that they will be fine. Because remember, the tub's going to cool down at night. Unlike an aquarium where if it hits 95, it's like that until you turn off the heater. These cool down at night, right? And again, 95 air temperature might not mean 95 in your tub unless the sun is hitting it full day, all day long. If it gets a break from a tree or a roof line, it cools down. So you really need to spend time finding the location on your property to put your tub, and that might take a couple of years to do. But that's part of the fun, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, we get 55 to 70 inches of rain every year here. So I get a
Wow.
lot of rain, but there's like 2 weeks of the year, normally in the middle of July, where it doesn't rain and it gets
Yeah.
super hot. And so what I
Yeah.
do is I have fountains in all my tanks or tubs,
Okay.
and I
Yeah.
also put out
To kind of help with the aeration.
and those umbrellas that are semi.
Yeah.
They're not 100%.
Yep.
They have like they're made of not wicker, but a weave.
Shade cloth. Yeah, they're like that is fine. Even if you half shade a tub, you can cool that sucker down. There's a slide in my program at the Clash. Just half shading a tub will knock 20 degrees off that temperature. So again,
Amazing.
locating and doing the things that you're doing if you're in a hot climate, great.
I'll probably be having my first tubbing video for anybody. Oh, I'm not on my show anymore. Oh well, I should have promoted this on my
You're
show.
on Whip
But
Show, so we
I
have to
know,
talk
and they're
about
probably
big
mostly the same
fish.
people. I'll be putting out my
But
first tubbing video next week, and it's going to be
oh
on how to
wow.
get rid of wasps.
Oh yeah, because they need a water source, and if
Oh my
the
gosh,
people, yeah,
and they're
and if they
such
don't have a
jerks.
nearby water source, yeah, they can be jerks. And if people
They have
keep
stung my
honeybees, if
mom.
they don't give, oh, I'm sorry. And Whip, I
Well,
know this is your show. We're sorry for going off on a tangent, but I have kept jewel cichlids outside in a 70-gallon
oh nice.
Rubbermaid tub, and they spawn, and they look great. Jewel
What about
cichlids and
a
cabensis
Cara?
outside are
You think
fine.
a Cara will be all right?
What size Akara?
The electric blue.
Which ones? Yeah,
Like
There's
I've
more than
never
one kind of
tried them, but
electric blue. I
3
I
to
think they're
think
4
a
about.
inch.
100-gallon. I think a pair and 100-gallon stock tank should be fine because as Ed knows, when those 100-gallon stock tanks have a thermocline, when you put your hand in, the water gets cooler as it goes down to the bottom. So that allows fish to find a level that they're comfortable. But if you get a small pair in there, I think they should be fine. Frankly, that's plenty of oxygen and aeration. You just want to make sure, this is the real key when you put out your fish. This is the thing that I learned after killing a lot of fish many years ago. Make sure the water temperature of your tub is around the same or warmer than the water temperature that the tank that they're in. That way they acclimate easily. You don't want to put them into a cold tub, but it's not air temperature, it's water temperature. And if you look at the calendar, if you look at your forecast, if those temperatures are going to be remain stable, you can then put them outside. So after that, you're on autopilot for the rest of the summer, right? Until you bring them inside.
Right.
And make sure their water is similar. If you did a water change in your tank, you have a water change in your tub. I like to set my tubs up a month before I put in fish. I want the bacteria to get in there. I squeeze a sponge filter in there. I'll take dried leaves for infusoria, put them in there. I'll get the plants ready. So that tub is biologically seasoned and stable before I put in the fish.
Gotcha.
These are my indoor tubs.
You have indoor tubs? Oh my good. You're hardcore, Ed.
You see, and this is where I grow my guppy or my guppy grass is in here.
You're hardcore, dude.
I've got this is a
Wow.
moss tank. Oh, this is my moss tank. It's like tons of Java moss in there. I don't know.
Oh, that's great. Throw some cherry barbs in there and have a party. They love
Well,
spawning in clumps of Java moss.
these are my
These are all guppies.
Dumbo. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to. I can't really catch them holding a computer.
Dumbos are cool guppies. I remember when those hit the market about 10 years ago. They're awesome fish. Very good
That's
looking fish.
99% of what Ed has is
Bring some to
guppies
the
of
show,
some kind.
Ed. Are you going to bring any to the
These
show?
are my swordtails. I've brought some. That's my swordtail guppies. And then
I love
this is
sword guppies. Yeah, those are my
these
favorite.
guys are super pretty. I really think they should be called Mardi Gras, but they're
Is that Vallisneria?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it in a pot. But
Maybe you can show these fish on your next live feed because I know that that I know that I would like to see them because you really people really don't know, the average hobbyist, what a real good fancy guppy looks like until they really see one that a breeder's doing because the shops really don't carry them, right?
No.
well, I'm going to start my line breeding right here, so that way I
Oh
can
wow.
really get some. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
going to use
cool.
these 3-gallon
Snack box.
animal
Yeah.
crackers. They're
Yeah.
3 gallons on the dot. And
That's
so
great.
I've been collecting a whole bunch of them. Right now,
And
everything's
they'll
kind
fit
of
a
messy
sponge
because
filter. Nice.
I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fine.
perfect. But yeah, I kind of had to throw a whole bunch of junk in here yesterday because there was tornado sirens and I had a whole lot of company.
Oh.
So,
Oh goodness.
but
Goodness.
yep, this is like my tub room.
That-
I had to
that's
do something
awesome.
with the spare bedroom because my brother was talking about coming and living here, and I wanted to make sure he lived with my mom and dad and not me. Is that terrible? So I've got 2 fish rooms now.
No, Benjamin Franklin said people and fish both smell after 3 days. So, that's really not such a that's not. I'll show you one thing I put at the bottom of my tub sometimes for egg scatterers. I'll take these are pond baskets they sell at pond stores. They're perforated. And I'll put a piece of egg grate that I'll cut and zip tie them
Yep.
on here and open them up. I'll put some gravel in there and I'll maybe line the bottom of the tub with this so the eggs fall in here away from the parents.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
I love that.
and it works. That's a good method if you're like for emperor tetras. They're really another fish outside. They stay at the middle and top layer of the aquarium and they leave the bottom alone. So if you put a lot of, Java moss doesn't do well outside. Anubias does well outside in a shaded tub. But I put a whole bunch of these at the bottom and the fry will live with their parents. And that way you can do a 1-tub spawn. Most of the spawns
Oh,
I do now are 2-tub spawns. I'm moving water hyacinth back and forth between an empty tub and a tub with fish, because I've worked through fish already that the parents leave alone. Now I'm working with fish that devour their fry, so I have to do a 2-tub method.
Right.
that's awesome, though. I love that.
But that's much easier than removing. It's much easier than removing the parents. That's a just move the plants back and forth, move the baskets back and forth. It's much easier than
Well,
trying to catch fish during the summer.
Right.
that's how I do the petricolas. Is I have them have their babies in
Oh, okay.
a bowl of marbles, and then I just put it on a glass bottom tank
Yeah.
underneath and let them grow out.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, neat.
And otherwise, I'll eat all their eggs, But
Yeah,
I let them
yeah.
grow out till they're about 1.5 inches. Then I put them back with the adults, and it's always fun because all the adults are hiding in their caves during the day, and you put those babies in
Right.
there, and they're like heat seekers, and they just stir the whole
Ditherfish.
pot up because they go right into
Yeah.
the adults, and the adults are like, "What the heck?" That's great.
Uh,
I need to
That's
videotape that
great.
next time I do it. I only do it once
That
a
would
year because
yeah.
otherwise I have too many.
Oh, you should definitely film that. That would be cool to see.
Oh no! I was about to. I have some Petricola video, but it's on my stream.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, fellas, we're gonna go.
Thanks,
Anything?
Whip, for
Any
having
last
me.
words? Any last information you want to pass on? Anything? I will not be doing the show on Saturday. I will be enjoying MFR Day with my dad. So, anybody else got anything going on? Anything fun?
I don't
I'm
know.
going to a play on Saturday.
Atta
Oh,
boy.
what you gonna see?
I think I'm seeing Inherit the Wind,
Oh,
Well, all right. What about you, Ed?
possibly.
Anything?
I am painting my bedroom. I'm gonna
Oh,
take
I'm getting
everything out of my bedroom.
I'm getting a little buffering issue. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right.
I'm gonna pull up the carpet in my bedroom because it seems like that's where the cats love to go barf is on the carpet. I'm tired of it because I put rubber flooring everywhere else, and they don't barf on that. They barf in my bedroom. So I'm going to pull that up, put in new flooring, and I'm going to paint the walls gray. And that's what I plan on doing this weekend.
Well, all right. Otherwise, we'll see you Thursday, right?
Can't you be like whip-and-eyeing? Can't you be
Tuesday.
like whip-and-eyeing and get catfish rather than cats?
Yeah.
Let's see. Will do plecos count as catfish?
Sure they do.
Okay, then I have at
Have a
least
good night,
4
everybody.
types of catfish, minus the
Cheers.
Corys.
I think we're losing Doctor. Bye.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to y'all later.
Night.
Hey. Welcome in. I'm Whip. Oh, I forgot to hit end screen.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks, Whip.
You bet. I don't know if it's going to end. It's not ending.
I don't know. Well, maybe we'll play D&D